go. There we go. I need to do here. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Got that there. Just getting everything started. Make sure all this stuff works. Make sure it streams. There we go. What is going on? There we go. Let's play some Path of Exile. And we're going to watch some after school videos because it's totally after school right now. Oh, what is going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a good Monday night. I could be watching the Bengals versus the Cowboys right now, but I chose not to. God, I hope the Bengals win. What's happening, Denny? What's happening, Mike? What's happening, Reverend? 1.3K in a week on Blue Sky. Reverend, I'm at like 800. Like 850 maybe. Maybe 850. Actually, I think I might be at 880 now. You're killing it. I am the worst. I'm going to be honest with you. I am the worst social media person of all time. I am the worst social media person of all time. I have no ability to do the social medias. I need like a social media person. That's what I need. Manic. Get on that. Manic was supposed to be my social media person. She failed miserably. What's that in 40 cal? Let's see. Where we at? So I've been playing this. I've actually got a sorceress that's like level 30. And did you follow me, Reverend? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I log on and it's like you have 30 new followers. And I'm like, that's so much work to follow everybody back. So much work. I'm the worst. I admit it. I'm not gonna deny it. I am the worst. Here, let's bring up this guy. Nope, not that guy. Ah, fuck! I just killed the window that was up. Let's try it again. Try it again. I hope you guys are ready for some rather bad gameplay and some technical difficulties. That's what we do. I wanted to watch the end of
this episode
there it is
of
right
After
there.
School.
There it is. The cycle of civilization.
Hey, California homeowner, did you know that PG&E is now
Stop
the
it.
most expensive electricity?
Okay. I've got way too much stuff going on here. All right, tell me if you guys can hear this, or are we boycotting McDonald's? Yeah, dude. That was some bullshit. Fuck that guy. Or girl. Whoever it was. Whoever told on our boy, that's what I'm going to refer to the CEO, Justice Seeker. I'm going to refer to him as our boy. Whoever did that shit, fuck that person, okay? I'm sure, look, you work at McDonald's, a $50,000 reward for any type of evidence was probably piquing their interest. It's probably like some fucking 16-year-old or something like that. Fuck that person. That's all I'm saying. Tell me if you guys can hear this. Tell me if you can't hear it.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of After School.
We're going to get edumacated.
My name is Greg Aldrete, and I'm a history professor who studies ancient Greece
I don't
and
know what
Rome.
I'm supposed to be doing here.
Today, we'll be exploring the
All these
theories
lights.
of the ancient
It's like a
Greek
dark game
historian
already, and these lights are like
Polybius,
rough.
who wrote
Oh,
about
save him.
why civilizations
Save him. Oh,
rise
too late.
and fall,
Oh, we got sweet
as
ass
well
wand.
as what explains the astonishing success of the Roman Republic. So, let's get started.
You know
Is
it's
every
Trump?
civilization
Dude, of course
doomed
it was
to
Trump. What's
rise,
happening,
but
Silent?
then inevitably fall?
Welcome
Is
to the
there
gaming
some
stream.
ideal form of government that will allow a civilization to
I need to do
avoid
this real
collapse?
quick.
How can we explain why some civilizations flourish and expand while others stagnate
America
or
is
are
stagnant.
easily conquered?
Oh. Sorry.
These are vital questions that humans have pondered for thousands of years. And
I
they
like this
remain
background
urgently
music. It's
relevant
good background
today.
music for this game.
They were also the exact questions that obsessed a man
like old
named
school Baldur's
Polybius,
Gate. Like the
who lived
old
in
Baldur's
ancient
Gate.
Greece over 2,000 years ago during the
Oh, yeah,
2nd
what else I
century
need to do
BC.
here? Hold on.
While
Hold on.
Polybius was a highly educated member of the Greek upper class, for him, these were not just abstract philosophical
options.
topics to be debated over a cup of wine, but burning issues of direct and painful relevance, not only to himself personally, but to his home city of Megalopolis and
Megalopolis,
to the
that
entire
sounds like it's
wider
made
Greek
up.
world. This
Megalopolis
is
sounds like it's
because
a made-up
during
place.
Polybius's lifetime, the
we want
Roman
that.
Republic had gone on a rampage through the Greek world, defeating one
need
state
that.
after another,
There we go.
including
There we go.
Polybius's
Oh,
own
wait.
city of
One more thing.
Megalopolis. In
I
167
should have
BC,
probably set all this up
Polybius
before I
was
got on the game,
shipped
huh?
off as a hostage to Rome, along with 1,000 other prominent Greeks. All of this came as a devastating shock to Polybius. Over a
Polybius,
century earlier,
also
the
made-up name.
conquests of Alexander
Wait, are
the
all
Great,
names
king of
made-up names?
Macedon, had spread Greek culture throughout
Rich
the
people
Eastern
fuck shit up,
Mediterranean
that's why.
and into the Middle
Exactly!
East. Although
Reverend
Alexander's
speaks the
empire had
truth.
fragmented upon his death into numerous
Oh,
smaller
don't roll
kingdoms,
towards him, lady.
Greek
What are we
culture
doing?
remained dominant, giving many Greeks a smug sense of superiority. After all,
The goddamn
were they
Greeks,
not
man.
the creators of such magnificent achievements
smug
as
with
the
their names like
architectural perfection
Polydamas?
of temples like the Parthenon, the
Made-up-ass
sculpted beauty
names.
of statues such as the Doryphorus, the clever plays of Sophocles,
Sophocles,
and the
my
brilliant
ass.
philosophy
His
of
probably
Plato.
real name was probably Joseph.
The period
Fucking
after
Joseph.
Alexander's conquest was known as the Hellenistic era, and during it, the
Oh.
erudition and ingenuity of Greek culture, coupled with
It's weird playing
the
like this.
ruthlessness of the Macedonian military
usually
machine,
play like this.
seemed an unbeatable combination. The Hellenistic cities and empires of the Eastern Mediterranean were wealthy,
Look,
prosperous,
Mar-a-Lardo.
sophisticated, and
Yeah, you like
self-satisfied.
Path of Exile, Pearl?
And then
Pearl, we got to
this
play,
world
dog.
was turned
have to do it.
upside down. Onto this complacent scene burst the Romans.
Pearl's the killer on
who
video games,
swept
dude.
in from the
I
Western
don't know if I can play with
Mediterranean,
Pearl. It just
and
made
in
me look
little
really
more than
bad.
a generation,
To show exactly how
toppled
old I am.
Nearly every one of the mighty Hellenistic kingdoms.
Yeah, I want
To
the
many
skeletal
Greeks,
minions.
the
We're trying to
Romans would
fucking.
have seemed uncouth barbarians.
We're trying to
utterly
minions.
lacking in the intellectual skills and accomplishments that they prize so highly.
Wait, I have to direct
How
my minions
could
by
such
doing what?
relative brutes
Oh, I don't
have
like that.
triumphed
Come with
so
me and just attack
rapidly
stuff,
over the
boys.
talented and
Attack stuff,
powerful
boys.
Greeks? This riddle
I gotta
was
tell
so
him to
compelling
attack
to
stuff? I don't like
Polybius
that.
he devoted
Wait.
the rest of his life to
How do I
trying to
attack?
answer it.
Oh, Jesus
His
Christ.
investigation
This isn't
took
going
the
good.
form of writing
There we
a
go. Punch people.
gigantic 40-volume history of
Oh.
Rome, in which he meticulously
Oh,
described
that's not
Rome's
good.
expansion
I don't know what
across
I'm
the
doing.
Mediterranean and offered his
on,
analysis of
hold on.
Rome's spectacular success.
What is going on here?
He lays out his motivation right at the beginning of his history.
Where are my
stating,
skeletons at?
Can there be
All right, hold on.
anyone so
Oh.
apathetic or
Well, I
lacking in
changed weapons.
curiosity to have
Oh, I
no
can
desire
change
to
weapons.
understand by what means and under what form
how
of
did I do
government
that?
the Romans
How did I change
conquered
weapons,
the
guys?
entire inhabited world and brought it under their absolute control?
Someone tell
in
me
a
how to change
time span
weapons.
of barely 53 years.
53
Polybius was
years.
perhaps
Nothing.
uniquely qualified to undertake such a project because he acquired first-hand knowledge of Roman imperialism not only from his perspective as one of its victims, but also
how do I change
from
weapons?
the Roman viewpoint as well. Polybius ultimately spent 16 years as a hostage at Rome, where he
who
was
didn't?
treated more like a guest
X.
than a prisoner.
Let's
While there,
change
he
that.
became
Let's
friends
change
with the
that
most
to,
powerful Roman family of the day,
change that
the
to 3.
Scipios. Polybius accompanied these Roman
go.
generals on campaigns in Africa and Spain.
Oh, but I can't have
and
my
thus,
minions up at the
when
same
it came
time?
to
kind of
analyzing
shit
the
is this?
fall of the Greek world
I don't
and
like
the
it already.
rise of Rome,
We're going back to
Polybius
sorceress like right
had
away.
truly witnessed both sides. Before looking at Polybius's
It was X.
explanation
Good
for
call,
the
Pearl.
rise of Rome,
Wow, noob.
we need to examine his overall
Dude, I'm doing
ideas
great,
about
guys.
how and
doing great
why
so far.
civilizations rise and fall. Like many ancient thinkers, Polybius believed that civilizations behaved like living creatures and followed a natural biological
Sounds like
cycle
Aristotle.
of birth, growth, maturity, stagnation, decline, and death. The
It does help
earlier
that I
Greek
play League of
philosophers,
Legends.
Plato and
I know how to
Aristotle
click
had
stuff, at
both
least.
expressed versions of this
Use
theory.
my W and Q and E.
Polybius
Ooh, what
took
is that?
these ideas even further and offered a very elaborate scheme. He proposed a cyclical progression of 7 stages of government that
I
form
don't know
an
about that.
endless repeating loop called
Let's not loop.
anacyclosis.
I'd prefer not to loop.
Posited that
Let's
primitive
just
humans
not
had
loop.
begun in a sort of anarchic original condition
this do?
without
Ooh!
political structures.
I like
This is
that.
the first stage.
Oh, get him, bro.
Eventually, a strong leader emerges who brings order and
Oh,
direction for the good of all, and thereby gains the respect and fealty of the group.
Oh, yeah. Reckon it
The
now.
people willingly bestow the mantle of
Oh,
authority
mana is
upon
low.
him, and
We
thus
got
we
that.
reach the second
I
stage of the
thought
cycle,
I froze there.
kingship.
Oh, are these my guys?
While the original king
these are my
earned
guys.
his position of leadership
Dope.
through
They're
his
like little
actions,
scorpion dudes.
the kingship was
Oh,
usually
yeah, I'm
then
killing it.
passed down by heredity.
Playing Diablo
Over
Light
time,
tonight.
subsequent monarchs start to grow arrogant.
Mike,
and
I don't know what
abuse
I'm
their
doing either,
power
so
through
no big deal.
arbitrary or unjust actions,
Up this way.
and the kingship
right, we know what we're doing.
degenerates into the third phase, tyranny.
Oh, tyranny.
This
That's where
provokes
we're
a
at
group
now,
of the
guys.
wealthiest and most dynamic men to
We are in the
organize
tyranny phase.
together and overthrow the tyrant.
Oh, dude, I like
They
this.
then take
I can do
charge of
stuff.
running the state in a collective fashion, sharing power among themselves.
Oh, we need that.
And the
twig
fourth
circlet's
phase,
important.
aristocracy, is
Oh,
born.
did we already have a twig circlet?
While the initial
some
group
shit.
of aristocrats acts with the interests of all in mind,
Fuck am I supposed to go?
once again, over subsequent generations,
Oh, up here.
their descendants become addicted to wealth and status
Nah.
and begin to think only
Us
of
addicted to
themselves.
wealth and status?
Aristocracy
Never.
degenerates
Ooh, skill
into
point.
its corrupt form, oligarchy.
Yep.
The
that,
ordinary
that's
people
actually where we are
inevitably
now.
grow weary of the abuses of the overbearing oligarchs and
Ah,
reach a point
Elon,
where they can't take
Donald,
it anymore.
Vivek,
People
Bezos,
rise up in revolution
Zuckerberg.
and either kill or expel
Dude.
the oligarchs.
I got dibs on fighting
Recalling
Zuckerberg.
their
Oh, wait, no. He's the
ill-treatment
MMA
by
guy. I got dibs on
tyrants
fighting
and
Elon.
oligarchs, they desire
Somebody
neither
else
a
fight
kingship
Zuckerberg. Somebody tells me
nor
Zuckerberg
an
can fight now.
aristocracy. This
He does
inspires
jujitsu.
them to take up the reins of government themselves and create a democracy in which political power rests in the hands of the people. Equality and freedom of speech typically form 2 of the cornerstones of democracies.
Send it, Paul.
For a time, there is harmony and prosperity, but soon corruption again
Dude, I'll go to
creeps in.
BlizzCon. We gotta.
Later
If I ever hit
generations
100,000,
who
we'll go to like
have grown
BlizzCon
up
together or
always
something.
enjoying
We'll get all the
freedom
people
of
together and we'll
speech
go
and
to like
equality
a fucking
begin to take these rights
Comic-Con
for
or something.
granted
You guys can dress
and
up. I
no
don't
longer
do that.
guard or value them.
I'll wear my crown.
Greed leads to inequality, and affluence fosters a sense of entitlement. Both create resentment among the populace.
No.
Deceitful and shameless leaders arise who play
Ah,
upon these feelings.
does this sound
by
familiar,
making
guys?
Extravagant promises, vowing to shower the people with gifts.
No
But
way.
in reality, these men are only concerned with increasing their own power. With the rise of such
Dude, this is like too true. This is like too real right now. I can't. I don't know if I can listen to this video. It's too real right now.
power-hungry and narcissistic leaders,
Yeah, those ones.
called demagogues, democracy devolves into the next phase, mob rule.
Ah, mob rule.
At some point, one of
That's
the
something to look
demagogues
forward to.
emerges as dominant over all the others and seizes control of the state, or else there is a general collapse into anarchy, followed by the emergence of a new strongman. Then, the entire cycle repeats itself.
Uh-oh. Fat boy.
This
incoming.
is how Polybius described his doctrine of
Uh-oh.
anacyclosis.
Yeah, I know how to dodge. I already
And
know.
in his presentation
Bro.
of it, there is indeed an
What are you doing?
almost biological inevitability to the way in which
Who?
each stage
fat
degenerates
boy.
into its negative twin. That Polybius
my
would
negative twin.
subscribe to this theory is
Who?
quite understandable, because its general outlines matched up well against the histories of many of the Greek city-states.
Oh, Jesus.
For example, if we look
Oh!
at Athens, the largest and most famous of them,
Zombie.
its development aligns
Zombie time.
pretty well with the anacyclosis scheme. According to legend, its
Uh-oh.
earliest rulers were wise kings, such as
no.
Theseus,
Oh,
who
we're
was
stuck, boys.
renowned for
Oh, we're
slaying
stuck.
the half-bull,
Nope, we're not stuck. We're good, we're good.
monster known as the Minotaur.
Oh, fuck.
Then, as Athens
I clicked
grew
off my
in
screen.
power and wealth,
I gotta change that.
it went through a phase
do
when
not
it
click
was
off
ruled
screen.
by tyrants.
I guess I
The
need to be able to
arrogant
click off
behavior
screen.
of these
Oh, I gotta
tyrants
learn not to
caused
click
them
off
to
screen.
be overthrown. and a group of aristocratic families.
Rinfest
assumed
outfits.
power.
I'll do Rinfest for sure.
Over time,
I've got
a
lots of
series
swords, so-
institutional reforms
All right, we got it this time.
shifted Athens towards an ever more democratic structure of government, culminating in the direct radical democracy of the mid-5th century BC, a
Ooh.
time that also corresponded to the
Oh,
high
don't
point
walk
of
towards him.
Athenian power and wealth. Towards the end of the 5th century BC, however, unscrupulous politicians arose
Wait, where'd
who,
this guy come
although
from?
pretending to be champions of the people,
What the hell, bro?
were really only
not supposed to
interested
be
in
here.
selfishly advancing
Aw,
their own
fuck.
careers. These demagogues included men such as Alcibiades,
We're not doing well so far.
who encouraged the Athenian
Yeah,
people
I can't
to vote
confine
for
it though,
foolish
Tippy.
policies.
If I can
that
find it,
led
then
to
I can't
Athens'
click the
catastrophic defeat
windows
in the Peloponnesian
outside of it.
War and the collapse of
It's
the
okay. We're
Athenian
gonna
Empire.
do it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
During the next century, not just Athens, but all of Greece fell
Oh!
under the control of
Take
a
that,
new
fat boy.
generation of kings, such as
Oh!
Alexander the Great
We're
and his
already dodging.
successors,
Don't tell me what to
and
do.
the cycle seemed to have circled back to its beginning. It's worth noting that innumerable later thinkers would be greatly
Oh,
influenced by
fucking smash
Polybius'
my face.
anacyclosis
Ugh.
model, and would either comment on it
Oh no!
or
Don't get in the
offer
corner
their
again.
own versions.
Stay out of the corner, bro.
Among the more notable of these during the Middle Ages was Thomas Aquinas, the great philosopher,
Wasn't that guy a
theologian,
religious guy?
who wrote the Summa Theologica.
Oh no!
During
Get
the
away from me.
Renaissance, Niccolo Machiavelli, the
Oh, yeah.
brilliant and infamous
Tupac.
political
Oh.
commentator, best known for
Love
his
me
treatise
some
The
Tupac.
Prince, was
Oh, get him,
heavily
Scorpion Boys.
influenced by Polybius, and in another of his writings,
Yeah,
The
Scorpion Boys are
Discourses,
tanking.
offered
Oh.
his own version of the anacyclosis cycle. During the 18th century, the intellectual central puzzle that had motivated Polybius to write his history. Why had Rome been able to conquer the Hellenistic world so easily? His conclusion was that the Romans had cleverly found a way to step off the ever-revolving wheel of anacyclosis. How did they accomplish this? Rome
There we go. There we go. Okay. I think I got it. I may or may not have clicked the button. Accidents are happening. There we go. Are we okay? I gotta make sure, like, because we're streaming on multiple platforms. There we go. No one's watching the other platforms, so we don't have to worry. Alright, you guys can hear me now? Alright, we're back. Okay, I'm gonna totally not click any more buttons, okay,
and
guys?
had initially started out as a monarchy ruled by kings, but in the 6th century BC
we got
had
loot.
expelled them and established a republic dominated by aristocrats. So far, this
Why can't I
follows
use
the
that?
anacyclosis
I'm not,
model.
like, high enough level already?
However, by Polybius's
okay,
time
okay.
in the
Hold on.
2nd century BC, the Roman Republic had evolved into a kind of hybrid governmental
Well, that doesn't
structure
do us any good.
that still retained some aristocratic elements, but also vested substantial power in the citizen body and featured elected magistrates. Polybius believed that this version of the Roman Republic had managed to craft a constitution that mixed together elements of all
Yeah,
three
and that's
of the
like what
positive forms
Aristotle
of
talked
government:
about. Aristotle.
kingship, aristocracy, and
Yeah,
democracy.
exactly.
He thought that by
This could be the
blending
Grand
these
Canyon.
three forms together, the
It's a very dark
Romans
Grand
had
Canyon.
found a way to arrest their decay and avoid
Rinley
the
Barathon.
dangerous and corrupting
Everybody knows who
effects of
Rinley
their
is, right?
negative manifestations: tyranny, oligarchy, and mob rule. Therefore, to Polybius,
Okay, what do
the
we
factor
want?
that made the
Contagious
Romans
is good.
different and accounted for their astonishing
contagious.
rise was the unique political structure of the Roman Republic. He describes it in this way. As for the constitution of Rome, it has 3 distinct components, each of them possessing political powers. These respective powers are parceled out, and the whole system regulated with such a scrupulous regard for equality and equilibrium that one cannot say for certain whether the constitution on a whole is an aristocracy, a democracy, or a monarchy.
Oh, I can
If
tell you what it is.
we focus our attention on the
Some
power
bullshit.
of the
That's what it
consuls,
is.
These are the most important elected officials in Rome,
Oh,
we
wait,
would
how
be
do I do this?
inclined to see the system as monarchical. If we focus on the Senate, then it seems an aristocracy. And finally, if one considers the power possessed by the people in the Roman constitution, it appears to be a democracy.
Okay, I haven't clicked off streaming yet.
Polybius is
so I'm doing pretty
describing what
good.
today we might
All right.
term a mixed constitution, a political system in which power is divided among different branches of government that are themselves controlled by different groups within society.
Oh, I have
There is
I have
more
loot in
to
my
Polybius'
stash.
analysis, however.
I've looted my stash.
According to him, not only did the Roman Republic cleverly divide political power among these branches of government, but the 3 components were also bound together in a complex web of interdependency. To
Yeah.
quote Polybius again,
Not big on independence.
whenever any one of the 3 branches
That's
of
called the
government
Russian
becomes
Republic. Yeah,
overbearing and
exactly.
displays an inclination to be contentious and encroach upon the others, the mutual
I need
interdependency
to figure out a way to
of
get
all 3
chat
and the
up on this screen
possibility of
over
the
here, so that way I don't have
ambitions
to look over
of
to
any
see it.
one of them being
need that?
checked or
Okay.
blocked by the others curbs this tendency. And so the proper equilibrium
Did you see that
is
Ben Shapiro
always
was talking about the
maintained.
Kopay killer being a lunatic left
To
winger?
Polybius,
I
this
didn't see him
was the
talking about it, but he doesn't seem like he's much of a lunatic, to be honest. He seems like he was a pretty good criminal, to be honest. I mean, he got away with it for like a couple days, and if it wasn't for that goddamn McDonald's worker, fucking McDonald's worker, dude, fucking dude, you can't trust fast food people. It doesn't matter how much you pay them. $20 an hour. I guess if he's in Pennsylvania, so he probably was not making $20 an hour. Oh, I could use a bow. Wait, I need... What do I need here? Can I use that? No, I can't use that. Okay, if it's not blue, I can't use it, right? Okay. So I can use that thing, or I can, like, use a bow. We're going to stick with our wand. I think we're good to go with a wand. Okay. We've got no clothes on. We're completely naked. Was he right wing? Of course he was right wing. When are they not right wing? Like, name one recent person that shot somebody that wasn't right wing. Fucking, I'll wait.
secret
wait.
strength of the Roman
Of course he's
Republic,
right wing.
that its
I just thought he was
political
left wing
structure
because he
managed to
shot
capture the
a
best
fucking
elements
corporate
of
person.
3
I'll be
different
honest with you,
forms
I
of
was with
government
Ben Shapiro
and
on that
fused them
one.
together into a
I was like,
dynamic but
yeah, it's probably a
balanced whole.
Democrat.
One can debate just how accurate Polybius' assessment of the Roman constitution was. However, in a world in which the current states were mostly monarchies, there was
Oh,
indeed
this thing has
something
no range.
unusual about the mixed structure of
There's
the
a
Roman
weak-ass
Republic.
range on this ability.
If the idea of a government that divides power among 3 main branches and employs a system of checks and balances sounds very familiar, especially to
No.
Americans, it should. The education of America's founding fathers was deeply steeped in classical authors,
What
including
education?
Polybius,
Oh, I guess
whose
it did have
comments
some.
on the Roman Republic were among the
Oh, these
key
things
influences
spread my
on
contagion.
the
That's
founders of
amazing.
the American Republic. As we've already seen, John
Spread the
Adams
sickness.
was particularly fond of Polybius,
Give it to him,
frequently
boys.
quoting him in his speeches and
I
essays.
can't see you, but
and
give it to
directly
him. You're
stating
somewhere in there.
That they
Why is this
were
game so
an
dark?
inspiration when drafting the Constitution of the United States. Adams was not
can't
alone
hear my guy
in his
scream for,
appreciation for Polybius'
potions.
account
That's kinda bad.
of the structure of the Roman Republic. Thomas Jefferson considered an understanding of Polybius so essential
Fucking burned to
that
death.
during the Constitutional Convention, he sent a copy of Polybius' history
Okay.
to James Madison for him to study. So, was Polybius correct in his belief that the Romans had solved the puzzle of how to stop the cycle by finding the ideal form of government? Keep in mind that Polybius himself lived at the height of the Roman Republic's success in the 2nd century
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Beginning
He
about
had
a
a-
century
he had a window of
later,
time that
during
was
the
going
period
really well
known as
for him.
the late Roman Republic, the system that
Whoa, we're
Polybius
not falling
so
for it this time.
admired would begin
That's
to
right.
malfunction
Fucking
and
rolling.
eventually implode. It turned out that the Roman solution was not permanent. The Roman Republic did eventually collapse.
Oh yeah, this is good. I like this.
Even worse,
Oh yeah.
when it did fail during the 1st century BC,
Oh, we need
it
clothes.
more or less
We
followed
definitely
the
need these clothes.
anacyclosis model.
We're
Resentments
not naked
built up
anymore,
among
boys.
many different groups within Roman society, including veterans, allies, half-citizens, poor citizens,
Stop
and
raising
even
people.
some aristocrats, each of whom felt
no.
that they were not fairly sharing in the benefits and wealth that Rome's
No.
conquest had produced.
No.
The last century of the
That
Republic
never happens.
witnessed the rise of a series
Did
of
they have Pharma
demagogic
Bros
leaders.
too? Pharma Bros
Men
in
like
Rome?
Marius, Sulla, Pompey, and Julius Caesar.
Fucking Pompey.
Progressively undermined
for the triumvirate.
institutions and traditions of the Republic and placed their own personal interests above the good of the state. They manipulated the common people,
No
raised
way.
private armies, and when they
Oh, goddammit.
disagreed with
Clicked off my
political
screen.
rivals, replaced
Stop it.
debate or compromise with violence and bloodshed. A round of civil wars ultimately led to the
Oh, dude, I am
emergence of a
so
new
bad right
strong
now.
man who vanquished all his foes and became
Trump is our
a
Nero.
king-like figure, the emperor. A system that would persist.
Isn't
for the
Nero
rest
the
of
one that
Roman
did all the
history.
fucking
The
sex
first of
parties?
these emperors
Or
was,
was
a
that
grandnephew of
Augustus?
Julius Caesar named Octavian, later known
Or was
as
it
Augustus
Octavian?
once he becomes
Yeah.
emperor.
Same,
His
same
rule
difference.
marks the death of the Roman Republic and the beginning
Yeah,
of the
that's
Roman
that sounds
Empire.
like yeah.
It might
Sounds
seem
about
that
right.
Rome's special mixed constitution only temporarily managed to arrest the turning of the anacyclosis wheel, and that in the end, the Roman Republic fell prey to all the usual ills predicted by Polybius's scheme.
That's because his
The
name's
collapse
Polybius. He
of
should
the
have had a better
Roman
name. This
Republic
wouldn't have happened.
was a complex and prolonged process.
I don't think I can fight the ice lady.
Not all scholars
think I have
agree
enough
that it follows Polybius's
damage
model,
here.
and it is certainly possible to debate this issue. But regardless of how closely you think the Roman Republic followed the anacyclosis
Oh, yeah, I gotta put my
paradigm,
clothes on.
there is no doubt that it does offer a useful and provocative method for analyzing history. The basic question that it
Oh, can I wear
poses
this helmet?
regarding whether or not
Dope.
civilizations are doomed to fall is a timeless one that
This looks
all
better.
states, including modern ones, have to confront. If Polybius's 2,000-year-old writings can provide a tool that enables us
Yeah, they
to
predicted
better
this shit like
grapple
2,000
with
years
these
ago that this shit was gonna
fundamental
happen.
questions,
That's not a good
then
thing.
they certainly deserve to be remembered and studied. I hope you enjoyed
Or just
this
vote for
episode.
Trump and
If
fucking
you want to
here
learn
we go
more
again.
about ancient
It's
history
fine.
or myself,
It's not a big
please
deal.
check out my website, my
Let's
books,
just start this all
the
over
various
again.
audio and video courses that I've made with the
Oh,
Great
I can do it to
Courses
just the
/ the Teaching
corpses?
Company.
Oh,
Those are
I'm so
available
dumb.
from Audible, Apple Books, Amazon, and directly from the Great Courses. Thanks
Okay.
very much for watching.
Hold on.
And remember,
Hold on. I'm busy.
easier to make sense of the present if you know about the past.
Yeah, we don't really care here in America about that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, we're like, does this all sound familiar? Yes, it does. Are we going to do it again? Yes, we are. You don't toss loot? You heard that trash and saw it. I know. I'm working. I didn't toss it, Redonk.
No one believed
I
these
literally
knives
have
were
it
as
still
useful
in
as
my- I
they
didn't
are
toss it.
badass looking,
Did I toss
but now
it? I might have
everyone wants
tossed it.
one.
A customer
Hold on, let's find
returned
a
his
better
knife
video.
because he missed our
Let's find something that has like some kind of we want something with some kind of like people talking shit. Have you guys watched that Luke Beasley, this thing? The greatest title in all of history. I pounded a Trump supporter for an hour. What's happening, Honest Mechanic? We'll watch it.
Honestly, more
We'll
extensively,
listen to Luke Beasley in the background. We'll listen to Luke Beasley debate this guy. Yeah, well, I was thinking about getting rid
then
of
I
dude,
am
I'm
rarely
right.
able
There's
to
not a
do
lot of space.
bunch
They don't
of
give me
my
enough backpack
political
room.
views addressed him
Need more
as a Trump
backpack room.
supporter, and some of his views reacted to the results of the election.
God, Jesus.
And so,
I
for
wasn't
our
ready.
podcast listeners, this will be the rest of today's show. For all of you watching on YouTube, you can watch it
Oh,
as
I'm
much
watching
as
on
you'd
YouTube,
like. A
Luke.
really interesting discussion
watching
again with
all of it,
someone,
Luke. We
Sean
got
Kelly,
time,
who
bro.
identifies himself as a
got
supporter
time.
of Donald Trump's. It was on his
we
show,
got
The
point.
Digital
We got a
Social
point.
Hour, and take a look.
Spell and minion damage.
Really proud of how.
Yeah, we
at
do that,
large,
right?
You have your crazies always, but
We're doing
really
spelling.
Do
We're
stand
doing that,
by
right?
the fact that
Yeah, we're
Trump
doing that.
is
That's what we're doing.
threatening our
I don't know where to put my
democracy,
points. I just put them where I
is
want.
violating so many of our most basic American
Dude,
principles,
Isabella
but
was
still,
fucking
you saw Biden in the
insane.
White House
That
with
chick was
Trump,
insane.
Able to acknowledge democracy has to come first, and we're not going to do what MAGA did last time and lie about the election for 4 years. Try to
You got this
overturn
game,
all
Rita?
those sorts of
Right. That's why I think it's important on my show to have on the other side, so I'm not just seeing one opinion the whole time.
Lies.
All right, guys, we got Luke Beasley on today. Post-election, man. How you
Oh,
feeling?
is this on his show?
Not as
He's
great
not
as
on
I've done
Lokes?
before, to be honest.
Yeah, I only get a purse.
not
Well,
sure
I'd like a
about
backpack, like the one
I don't know
that
what I
United
believed. I've said
Healthcare
before, I have a
assassin
hard
guy
time
had. I need one of
deciphering
them
between
sweet ass gray
optimism
backpacks.
and my actual
I can actually like
prediction.
kind
I
of see
definitely knew
stuff
Trump
in
could
this
win.
place.
I don't
need
think
more
I was
light.
expecting the electoral
I need more light, boys.
beating that
Right.
he handed
It was
down.
landslide, right? He
Yeah.
won by like 100 votes.
Oh, I should use
Yeah, I
my
didn't-
minions
even I
now.
didn't expect that. I thought it'd be way closer. I thought some of the swing states would go her way.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And he won
Oh
every
yeah,
single one, I
now we
believe.
here we go,
Yep.
boys.
All 7.
We got a
Which
little
is crazy.
army.
Crazy.
But you get in these,
We got a little
these
army,
bubbles
boys.
when you're on social media.
Oh
right?
Jesus!
When like I log into Twitter and it's just all conservative stuff. So that's why
Oh,
I
get
think it's
off me.
important on my
Get
show
off
to
me.
have on the other side.
Get
so
off
I'm
me.
not just seeing one opinion the whole time.
Oh yeah, I gotta use my
appreciate that.
contagion.
Yeah, and I was
Contagion up, boys.
really proud of how
I'm giving people
at
COVID.
large, you have your crazies always, but
Fucking
at
take
large,
that,
how the Democratic
unvaccinated
coalition has responded,
zombies.
'cause we really do believe
Fucking
and stand
unvax
by
zombies.
the fact that
That's what
Trump
happens.
is
Should have
threatening
got
our
vaccinated.
democracy, is violating so many of our most basic.
Now I'm running
American
around with a bunch of
principles,
COVID scorpions.
But still, you saw Biden at the White House with Trump, able to acknowledge democracy has to come first, and we're not going to do what
All right, hold
MAGA
on. I
did
gotta
last
try to turn
time
off one of these
and lie
lights.
about the election for 4
There we
years.
go.
Try to overturn it.
Okay,
and
I'm a
all
little
those
bit
sorts of things.
dark.
Yeah,
Sorry
it was
about
cool
that,
to see that
but
video
to
of
be
Biden
honest
and
with
Trump
you,
together.
can't help
It
it.
seemed like they were on better terms.
Let's see if I can turn this.
I think
this way.
Biden was just being the bigger man.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. That imagery is
How
not
about that?
something Trump ever gave
It's
to
not
Biden.
too bad.
If you
Okay.
remember, right when Trump lost the election,
I still play
from
WoW
that
every
point
once
to
in a while. I
when
haven't
he
played in a
left
long time.
begrudgingly on
Now
January
I can actually see
20th,
the screen.
2021. He was working in allegedly illegal ways like the fraudulent slate of electors scheme to keep himself in power. And he was telling his followers,
Dude,
I'm not leaving
the
office.
fake
it's not gonna
electors
happen."
scheme, like,
and so to see
it's
Biden
like, how
do what
are we
Trump could
not?
never is just another
How
example of
are
why
we here, guys?
We shouldn't have
How are
elected
we
Trump.
here?
I mean, I will agree that, yeah, I don't remember him with that transition doing the same thing to Biden.
No, I think Trump committed one of the greatest crimes against our democracy in American history.
You talking about the J6 incident?
Okay, why?
A lot of people zero it down to that. That was sort of the culmination.
Why does it keep switching my
of
weapon?
Weeks of him trying to overturn the election. So one thing that not enough people know about, but is critical, is you know how him and Pence had that falling out?
Yeah.
That was over Trump wanting to get Pence to, instead of
Keep switching
certifying
my
which
weapon.
is the
This is
procedural
annoying.
role the vice
I
president
don't know what I'm doing.
the actual lawful electors. He was trying to get Pence to just take other random
Yeah.
Republicans
Mike-
saying we're
Mike
the
Pence
lawful
saved
electors
us.
from the swing states.
Dude,
and we say
stop
Trump
changing
won,
weapons,
which
bro.
would have been a coup. Luckily, Pence said, I'm not doing that. And then Trump's followers chanted, hang Mike Pence. And to the day Trump left office,
Oh, is
he was
it because
pretending
that's my
There was a
weapon?
chance he was going to stay in office
Oh,
beyond
okay,
January
okay,
20th.
okay. Hold on.
That's how you
There we
completely
go.
collapse
I think I figured it
democracy.
out.
So,
I figured
again,
it out.
going back to why I'm proud of my movement,
Okay.
is even in the face of someone who his own
Anti-vax
former
zombie.
chief of staff described
Yeah,
as a fascist, is
I'm out here saving the
victoriously
world from
still
fucking anti-vax
preserving
zombies,
democracy.
bro.
Yeah, I will say Mark Cuban congratulated him. I like that, seeing that. Obviously, he was very pro Kamala. You guys lost
Yeah.
some subscribers when it happened, right? I saw
It
Pac-Man talk
turns
about
out
this.
that like the other
Yeah,
side doesn't cry for like 4
I'm happy
years.
we sounded the alarms. I'm happy we very quickly said, guys, if your reaction to this
Oh,
election
get
result
off me.
is detaching, that's how we get more results like this. So please stay engaged, however hopeless it can feel. But it did get a little bit overblown because within days we started seeing
Yeah.
You got it
again.
back.
Yeah.
That's good.
Me too. I mean, I was
Yeah,
at
he's still challenging
21,000
that 2020
and now I'm
election.
at 22.
It seems like,
so.
you know.
Which I don't understand how
It was bad at the
anyone
very
sees past
beginning.
that by itself, because any other issue, if you care
I mean, I
about
only lost, like,
reproductive rights or the
140
economy or
subscribers,
crime,
but that was bad
the
for
way
me.
we address
Oh,
any
boss
of those
fight.
issues is through our democratic process. We choose people who we think
Oh,
have
yeah,
the
here we
best
go.
ideas.
Get
and
'em,
Trump
boys.
says, no, I'm not going to
Get 'em.
engage thoughtfully in that process. I'm going
Cool.
to say that local officials should
Cool.
find votes for me when I lose
Okay,
election.
I need my other.
And the fact that we
Come on.
rewarded him for that behavior.
Skeletons,
now
do some
federal
damage,
cases
bro.
Are being dropped. The one election interference one has
Guys,
to be
we're not
dropped
doing any
because Trump's
damage.
becoming president.
Guys.
And we're
Fucking
rewarding
hit
him
the boss.
for attacking the foundation of our democracy, which, again, we can get into why I think he won and why people get distracted from that most important issue. But it is a crying shame that we're allowing him to be rewarded for such
We might
behavior.
have to switch weapons.
After I had one Mind Bloom session,
No.
my world looked different.
Is this a ketamine commercial?
And I wasn't
Fucking
it's been a
ketamine
while.
commercials, bro.
And he was fighting that for
Sounded
years,
right,
and nothing
Blake.
ever happened.
You had
Right?
the same key, bind it twice?
didn't.
No,
Dozens
I
and
figured it
dozens of
out. I
didn't
had
have
it on
evidence to prove.
the left.
There was 81 million votes
left
for
click,
Biden in that election.
did the
So I do
move,
see
and
people
someone
on
has
X right
left.
now
Oh, I
saying,
have a
like,
fucking.
where did the 15
I
million
have
votes
COVID.
go? Have you seen stuff like that?
I can give him COVID.
Well, a big backlash election
take
to
that.
Trump's pandemic handling.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense
Oh,
there was
yeah.
more
Take
of a
that too.
movement to elect the opposition.
Oh, the
then.
COVID doesn't last long.
But then
for this
once
guy.
Biden
He's
and Harris
vaxxed.
were in power, now those pandemic
fuck.
issues that actually they
I'm
were
just
handling really
dodging
well,
really-
but across the Western world, we've seen voters want to punish the incumbent parties for the handling of the pandemic. And just because it's hard to square in your brain that you could feel all this economic pain that's very real, but then also say it's being handled well by the party in power, which it definitely was. If you compare the data on how we've handled this to other countries, how we've handled it compared to the projections, how Biden handled it compared to Trump. But people wanted to blame Biden Harris for that. And so there wasn't the same energy behind the Democratic coalition as there was behind Trump this time.
Right. I saw a lot of people blaming them, and they weren't really responding. I think that was an issue
Blaming them on.
the economy, like the gas, the groceries, and all that.
It's a tough one to discuss. It's easier for me because I'm not running for an office, so I can be a little bit more blunt. People's feelings were wrong about who they were blaming. The facts don't align with saying Biden Harris handled the pandemic conditions poorly. But that's not what Kamala Harris can't sit in an interview and say, well, y'all are just wrong, so haha. She has to sympathize. So she was trying to walk this line of saying, you know, if you look at the metrics, we're actually doing things pretty well, but I understand there's a lot to be done, and I have new ideas compared to Biden, so we're going to do even more than the pretty successful presidency that Biden's had. That message just didn't land because it's not as simple as they did it.
Right. Do you think she should have went on Rogan? Do you think that was a mistake?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I like that.
That wouldn't have made the difference, but she should have for sure.
Okay.
And
Some
that's-
people. No, go on.
Just a part of a broader issue with Democrats. Some of them are getting better, but they don't meet people where they are enough. And the facts favored Harris 100x. She had the facts on her side here. Unfortunately, the vibes,
There you go.
the economic vibes, and vibes about other things like crime when it's down, but people believe it's up.
Oh,
The vibes favored Trump. And
This
so the
stream-
only way
this
you can
stream
shift
is,
people's
I
vibes
push
is not
buttons
releasing
again.
studies on the effective handling of this, that, or the other thing.
we're gonna have
or
to go
papers
back to
about
playing
how
like
crime has
games
been
that don't
plummeting at a
involve me
prehistoric,
like clicking a bunch of
rate.
buttons on the
You
keyboard.
have to tap
Oh, I
into
can just
people's
use the.
feelings and connect
Hold
with
on,
them, and
hold
the
on.
only way you can do that is if you're showing up everywhere.
Okay.
And while I thought Trump's
wonder what's gonna happen when I push this
appearances
stuff.
on Rogan and on Logan Paul and Andrew Schultz and all these different people's podcasts.
Okay, hold on.
From my perspective, he was all disoriented and had a hard time communicating. Still, he was showing up, and he was doing a lot
Yeah,
of those things
whatever,
in places that
bro.
that people are not just your
Allegedly
own base,
is
but
it-
new,
I'm pushing
but
all
you
the
could-
buttons.
You could turn out. So that was a huge mistake for sure.
He was showing up and also being a human, humanizing more
okay.
people.
Yeah, best that he can.
Like sometimes politicians give these political answers, which I understand they have to do, right? They got to put on an appearance. But these days, I feel like people want that authentic feel. They want to see who they actually are.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we
do this.
overstate how much Trump was connecting with people. I think a lot of this was whoever the Republican was going to benefit from the vibes, the
Oh, we have an
anti-incumbent
update.
vibes, along with other things.
Well,
but
that's
again,
not
I have a
good.
hard time believing I know the fear-mongering works that Trump was doing, but it's not like he was nailing those interviews himself.
There we go.
Yeah, I could. On
time
Rogan, he
being.
did
Hold on,
seem
we're
a little
updating.
all over the place.
We're
I'll admit
updating.
that. I watched that episode.
Yeah.
But I really think the conservatives have like taken over alternative media, like the podcast space specifically, and YouTube. A lot of YouTube.
The left just fights with each
Yeah,
other.
there's a lot of left of center
No way.
voices,
Matt
like
Getz
myself,
got hired at
Dr. David
OAN.
Packman,
No,
Cohen,
you're
and others.
lying.
And
No
we're building
way.
a pretty big block of sort of
No
an audience.
way.
But I think there's more of a direct relationship between right-wing media
don't-
and
I don't
right-wing
believe you,
leaders
Reverend.
and then politicians who reinforce the messaging and show up and bolster the
I
platforms of
do
those
this?
people. Whereas
We're trying to switch.
we
the
largely
controller.
get ignored by the Democratic establishment, for example, and Democratic politicians, and they're still stuck in this headspace where mainstream media is the end all be all. And so I think a lot needs to change between now and the next election. One of the major things, it won't have to do with how we brand and how we adjust. Some of it will just be the structural stuff. Like I'm saying, no longer will people be blaming Biden-Harris for these pandemic conditions.
There's no way I don't believe you.
But you also have to adjust where you can. And one of the things is we got to invest more in alternative media, like you said.
Absolutely. You got to adapt because traditional media numbers are dwindling year by year.
Yeah.
I just saw something where I think it was MSNBC is really struggling. One of the big networks, you know.
A lot of post-election discontent among those viewers.
Yeah. You said something earlier. Crime is down. People think it's up. What is that based off of?
What is the disconnect, or what's
like where'd you get those numbers from? Where the crime rates were down? You said under Kamala and Biden.
Yeah, the FBI
people can't read,
stats,
bro.
So
really,
that's the problem.
Was that compared to
people
Trump's
don't like
presidency,
actual stuff?
So crime now is down to pre-pandemic levels,
no
or
need
even
for
lower.
all the noises.
And like homicide rates have gotten extremely low, and so people feel less safe, but they're actually, by many metrics, safer than they've been even going back before the Trump administration. But what happened was
not everyone needs a podcast.
I'd of course
isn't
say
that
Trump
the goddamn
exacerbated the economic crisis, the public health crisis, the crime crisis, all by his lack of a serious and coherent response to the pandemic. Something that even his own medical professionals have later spoken out against, saying that we could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives if he took this thing more seriously, more early. But even so, you had this end of Trump administration crime spike. Biden-Harris inherit that, right? So we had higher unemployment than when Trump came into office. That's what they had to inherit because of pandemic conditions and his handling. You had this public health thing they had to handle, and then crime was up. What was super infuriating was then immediately conservative voices jumped in saying the crime stuff is the problem of Biden-Harris. They created this, even though it predated them. Same thing with all these economic problems. As much as Fox News in sort of the 2021, 2022 period liked to fearmonger about crime because it was up during that
pandemic, that's like me having a podcast. Period. Who the hell would listen to me?
They never turned around and went, wow, it's so spectacular that it rapidly plummeted back to pre-pandemic levels. And a lot
maybe
of that
I'll get hired
is
on
very,
OAN.
Again, structural, systemic.
I'm going to be on OAN next,
guys.
guys.
The pandemic under control. It's why Trump should have taken.
Maybe my stream's going to be going down multiple times on OAN.
But you do have to point to the record federal investments in public safety and law enforcement that happened under Biden-Harris as well. And they actually have, like passing the gun safety bill and some other things, taken active steps that can be contributing
time to hammer
to these solid numbers. So this is
the only character I can play with a controller.
Is one that if we're just talking about data, you have this really strong case for why Democrats should have been given another term in power. But it doesn't align with how a lot of people feel. And I think a lot of that is more complicated than what I'm about to say, but some of it comes down to the right-wing media echo chamber is really effective.
Yeah, because you said earlier the facts favored Harris in this election, so you just wanted her to be more vocal.
Yeah, but the right is allergic to facts. Yeah, and they don't care about facts, bro.
Was flawed, but she ran a pretty solid campaign. Given
just
that
called
she had
Kamala
to throw
Harris
it all together
flawed
in just a few months.
Harsh.
But I don't know if the best messenger.
Oh, we can actually see the game now, guys.
Move the needle, and I'm sure there's some scenario where we could have won.
Okay,
but seeing the overwhelming results makes me feel like it has to be something a little bit more.
We got one of those too.
I keep coming back to this term, but structural.
Yeah. Do you think she was the right fit?
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Yes, in the sense that it would have been.
This is good. This feels good, guys.
There was so little time between when Biden decided he wasn't going to run anymore and the election that it made sense. He'd go, all right, I'm the one who the voters chose, but the ticket's Biden-Harris.
Get out of there.
And so
I can't remember.
Go ahead and hand
I don't remember which button to heal. Okay, that's how I heal. Okay.
What if I told you this was the last?
No commercials right now. I'm busy. I'm baiting.
Still here?
No commercials.
It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made by one of the founders of Honey, and it basically blocks ads for you. Like, imagine watching YouTube
fucking
and Twitch
spider, take that.
completely uninterrupted. And it actually gets cooler because if you do end up seeing ads, PyLegit pays you to see it. I didn't even know.
Shut the hell
up. She
wasn't
wasn't crowned, though. People act like there was some powerful group that got to select her. Biden just threw out the endorsement. Some people thought it was to sort of slight the Democratic establishment.
Oh, we've got points, but I don't know how to spin them.
But however it went, she went, ooh, as the mosquitoes attacking me, and won over the delegates, which that's how the law or the process works within these party infrastructures, and ended up becoming the nominee. And given that she was the VP, that was the smoothest way to make it happen in a few months.
We'll take some strength.
I have heard from conservatives that
always about
it wasn't
strength.
Biden's choice to
They need a
drop out or
strong
whatever.
man.
Like she kind of
We need a strong man with a hammer.
Have you heard that?
He'll
Yeah, I've
build
heard
the
that.
wall. He'll build the wall. He'll
Definitely
build
in
the
lead-up
greatest
election, didn't care about
wall.
talking about that because it was
I
sort
walked
of,
in, I
she's
saw
the
this
candidate
warrior.
now,
I said,
and
wow.
she needed to
That's
win
a
over Trump for
warrior.
sure.
Yeah.
And I didn't see this. Oh,
That's
it's so
a warrior.
anti-democratic when Biden was going to be the nominee, but he has every right to say, I'm not
what
going to
is-
accept
I got a
the
bramble ape?
nomination, and
That's
thus it's up in
racist,
the air.
first
so
of
then,
all.
again, the procedures say that the delegates are just going to have to decide, and
Wait,
so
what am I
Kamala
doing?
started calling delegates and
what do you
won
want?
the support of
You
enough
want
to become
my
the nominee.
stuff?
So that wasn't sort of
Hey,
the
you can't have my
coup
stuff.
that
I'm
Trump would always
pushing
describe it
buttons
as. But did Pelosi or others strong arm Biden? I don't know.
Oh, I don't
We
have
won't
the
ever
thing
know
it needs.
what those private conversations were. I think Biden
Oh,
just
no,
came
I'll
to
find
terms
something.
with how
I'll be
bad
back, bro.
polling looked. There was a report that we just recently learned of that said
yeah.
Biden got some polling map that said he would
yeah.
have gotten
Oh.
mopped, like even worse than Harris ended
Really?
up. Just an absolute historic landslide.
Oh,
was
poison
in the works.
boys.
Huh.
And so I think it was
No.
less so him being strong armed.
Oh, yeah,
because
take
he
that.
could have charged through regardless
Oh,
of
it
what
feels
people were
good.
saying. He had
This
the
is way better than the witch.
delegates' support, but he realized my
Warrior,
whole legacy
Warrior
is gonna
Boy
be
is good.
holding on to power and losing it, and potentially
Where'd he go?
losing our
There
democracy
you are.
for it.
Come back here.
Now, unfortunately, Harris ended up losing.
Fucking whack-a-mole. This is like that game you play
How
at
have you felt about some of Trump's recent
Chuck E.
hires?
Cheese's.
It's
This is
November
like a Chuck E.
15th
Cheese
today,
game
so he
right
hasn't
here.
made
Horribly.
all of them. You don't feel
Fucking
good
when
about
it
any
pops
of
up,
them?
you hit it with a hammer. Where'd he go?
Oh no!
Where'd he
I mean,
go?
oh well. Okay,
There you
good.
boys.
Let's see.
Here he is. Fucking
With-
take that.
Yes, I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
good based on my
Oh, yeah.
expectations.
You ain't-
For example,
oh.
Marco Rubio's not
Fucking
the most
Raptors.
extreme person he could have chosen. For
Bunch of
Secretary
goddamn
State.
raptors.
But for Attorney General Matt Gaetz, if that ends up working
Oh,
out,
you jumped too soon.
I
You
can't
jumped
think
it.
of a
Bam.
worse person there.
Oh, whack.
Tulsi
and
Gabbard
whack.
for Director of
Another
National
whack.
Intelligence.
Okay.
Frightening.
Why
I
don't you
think
like
I'm
her there?
freezing stuff. I
She
don't know how,
has a
but I'm
long
doing it.
history of foreign policy views and Russian aligned views that freak me out a lot.
Where you at,
Interesting.
boys?
She's a former Democrat, right?
Oh, fucking whack.
Yeah, she was always a
And
strange
whack.
one, though.
Oh.
Did you have those views when she was a Democrat, though?
Yeah, I never liked
You never
her.
liked her?
Yeah.
Okay,
talking
that's
about
respect.
Kristen
If you had
Sinema?
that view while she was still a Democrat.
Thank you. I also wasn't doing political
That's
commentary
respect,
when she
bro.
was like running for president,
Respect.
for example. So I
Put
don't
some respect
have
on
any-
Luke Beasley's
I
name.
never actually talked about her
Got it.
Fucking
online.
Chuck E.
but I remember
Cheese,
even when I was
bro.
keeping up with it, I didn't.
I'm
find
getting
her.
him tickets.
I don't like
getting him
accusing people
tickets.
of grifting. I like to believe even people that I find outrageously wrong or just wrong genuinely.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys can't
She
handle
does
me. When I was doing
stink
this
of
on my
grift, though.
sorceress, it was like actually hard.
Yeah, my hope
Warrior
is
Boy
just
does
if you're
not
a
take shit
political
from nobody.
content creator, you try to stay as objective as
Oh,
possible.
okay, that hurts though. Okay,
You know
that
what I mean?
hurts.
Because I think
All
some
right.
people bring a little too many emotions
oh.
involved, and then it just sways their bias in
Well,
one
what
way.
are these guys?
Yeah.
Fucking
You know.
dryads.
It's in this environment. My
Oh, yeah,
goal,
we're okay.
because
We're
my
okay.
show is an opinion show, I'm sharing my
Oh,
opinion.
okay. Yeah, we're all right. We're all
Is
right.
to make sure that
Haven't had to use a potion
facts
yet.
come first. I demonstrate
Boom.
the facts properly
Fucking
and as
stunned.
objectively as I can.
All right.
And then follow
Man
it
down.
with opinions.
Got it.
Because what's happening in our current
Uh-oh.
political environment is
Using
people.
potions. Using potions.
It's less so that
I don't know who I'm
it's less
talking
so
to.
that sort of the Trumpism
I'm like, it's like I'm
effect
in a team game.
is
But
convincing
I'm
people
not in a team game.
that Trump is right on everything, but more so
I'm telling
convincing
people what I'm
that
doing here.
It's
Oh,
impossible
getting
to,
out.
to
Okay,
discern
rolling,
what fact
rolling.
is,
Hmm.
and
Oh.
so a lot of people
Oh.
really are fine with. The
I just have
conclusion
one
of,
move.
I don't know. We
One
all sort of
move,
live in
guys.
our own echo chambers. We all have our own version of the facts. Who really knows?
I'm not even picking
though
up
there
loot.
are
What am I doing?
actual
Gotta
facts,
pick up
we
loot.
can know what is true, and sometimes
Also, my graphics
things are
look
verifiably
terrible
false. Often
with the controller.
when they come out of Trump's mouth.
Why
and
the
so making
graphics
sure we
get
don't
worse
lose sight
using
of
the
that,
controller?
even as we all throw
Well,
our
like
opinions
PlayStation
onto
2
the
graphics
facts
right
is
now.
super important.
Well, it's hard to find facts these days. There's so
Oh, there
many
we go.
false information everywhere.
One
It's like,
move!
where are you finding these? You know.
Yeah, and I think I stand by with any of my criticisms of left wing media. Doesn't take away from the fact that I think right now we're in a really wonky
Okay, all right, here we
environment,
go.
unbalanced environment where, for example,
Boom.
there's no
Boom.
people will dispute
Rolling.
this, but taking as objective
Oh,
of a
yeah,
look
we're
as I
good,
can
we're
at
good,
it.
we're all
There's no equivalent of Fox News on the left. Fox News
Run, buddy,
goes
run,
further
run.
in their propaganda for Republicans than an MSNBC, for example, would ever go for
Really?
Democrats. A good example of that is
Uh-oh,
you haven't
uh-oh.
ever seen MSNBC have to
We still
pay
got plenty of potions.
$787.5 million
Boom.
for lying about
Boom.
an election so
Oh, how about that
brazenly
uppercut?
even with our really strict laws around free speech, a defamation case was so threatening to Fox News.
Okay, I don't know what I
So with
got.
that being said, I think the MAGA echo chamber is worse.
Let's look at my stuff.
One thing I've
think I
been
got some stuff.
voicing a lot as we
I did not get any
are
stuff.
a little bit distressed right now is
I got no
as
stuff, actually.
a left of center media
I thought I had like gotten some
environment
kind of
to
loot
not
or
then
something.
just start
I
trying
got
to
like
mirror MAGA
2 helmets.
and to still value facts and try to not descend in just the same.
What are we talking about? Who did what?
I'll push back on that a little bit because I think
gotta
there
go
are
here.
outlets that show Trump
Where's
in a
my-
very negative manner.
Where's my YouTube chat?
I
It's
think
easier
some
with my
people.
YouTube chat
I've
up.
seen people who have taken him out of context
on.
and stuff like that. But I think if you were to accurately
out.
report on him, you would have a very negative perception of him.
All right, there
To
we
my
go.
previous point, just
Can I
super
move this over
objectively
here?
find
Can you
me an
guys see this
example
if it's
of
over
a
here?
president who loses an election in the United States and then tries to illegally keep himself in power.
No, you guys
and
can't see
the
that.
only
Perfect.
thing standing in between
Now I
him
can see my chat
and
over here.
holding on to power illegally is his vice president going, no,
Make it a little bit
and
smaller.
then being outcasted from the party for it.
Trash loot. Exactly.
That
silent.
is not a matter of
Oh, fuck.
you're just so
Hold on.
biased. That's just
That's
do you have a
not-
basic respect for democracy? And the both sidesism of every issue makes it to where you can have a panel where some people go, oh no, well that's not that significant. No one really cares about
I
that.
can't
Well,
have
we
it up.
should. And the facts point to a really
Ow.
dangerous man. And mainstream media, for example, a lot of people
Okay,
think
we'll move it over
that
here
your
then.
liberal legacy media is too liberal. And I understand that
We'll just keep it
a lot
right
of
here.
the voices on
fine.
those networks have a liberal bias. But actually, a
Yeah,
CNN,
the
for
loot I got
example,
is worse.
bends over backwards.
I have No Man's Sky. I played No Man's Sky
by
when it first
creating the
I played No Man's Sky when it first came out and it was terrible. It's like super good now, but I blew my entire load playing that game when it was bad. Now my son plays it and I just watch. I'm just like, I did play it for a while it was really bad because I was like, well, I paid money for this game. So, I mean, it sounded so good when it first came out. It was like the coolest fucking idea of a game ever. Like the idea that if you ever see somebody, it's going to be like 1 in a million. And then fucking, yeah, people like complain because people are like, well, actually, I want to see people.
this artificial.
No, I know they released a
neutrality, which isn't
bunch of
really
new
what we're
content.
seeking.
I love that they
Objectivity is good,
did
but
that. I
neutrality
love
is
that
a
they
little
did
silly.
that and
'Cause some
released all
issues
that
aren't neutral.
content. It's actually a really
and
cool
they
looking
end
game
up
now.
both siding issues that aren't.
But
both
I played
sideable,
the damn game
like
when there was
Harris
like
versus
no good
Trump's
content.
respect for our democracy. I don't know if you know this, but Trump called for the termination.
Dude,
of the
why does this
Constitution from
earthquake shit
social.
I heard
not do
about that.
anything?
And that's something that I bring up incessantly
Worst
because
skill ever.
that's not really excusable. It's online. He hasn't deleted that post, and people look past it. How do you vote for someone who's going to take an oath to the Constitution when they've said, "Oh, because
Trump
I think the
supporters
election was
can't
stolen, I
read?
think we should terminate all rules,
Fucking
regulations,
true.
and articles,
Okay.
even those found in the Constitution."
Don't
That's
care
just
what you
not
say. It's true.
a matter of are you liberal or conservative. It's do you agree that our system of government is something that should be preserved. And I thought conservatives abided by that, but they've sort of abandoned it.
They're not conservatives, though.
Yeah, yeah, I think he could have handled that incident
Luke
better,
Beasley's
but
problem is
the-
he still
they
thinks
were
that
writing negative
MAGA
stuff about him
supporters are
way before that,
conservative.
You know what I mean?
Like when he said "ground by the P word."
Yeah, I mean that was the first one
The
I remember.
P
but
word.
there was a lot.
Wet ass P
Wh-
word.
How
Get
would
Ben
you
Shapiro
tell a
in
story
there.
about
Wet
that
ass
in a
P word.
non-negative way?
Oh,
Well, not that.
Oh, you
specific
want this
moment.
then?
I mean, that's hard to defend, but
Come on in.
Just in
Fucking,
general,
I got a
like,
hammer
I think
for you.
they've done analysis
Oh,
on
yeah.
what percentage
I got a
articles
hammer,
are
eh?
negative
I'm
versus
a fucking
positive.
Canadian warrior.
And
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
it was,
I've seen that. I'm sure
Okay,
I've
not
seen
good,
the graphic
not
you're
good,
talking
not
about.
good.
I remember
We're
Elon
solid.
Musk posted a
We're okay.
graphic, and it was legacy media outlets.
Fucking yeah,
Harris.
level.
I think it was 88% positive,
Yep.
Trump 80, whatever, something high 80s or 90% negative.
I don't know what I'm swinging
And,
at. Gotta stop.
I don't know what are the 10% of positive.
hammer
I don't know
squishes
how
the
to find
spiders.
10% positive stories for Trump, but I will say. No one
I
ever
beat
includes in that
Cyberpunk
calculus
2027.
that if you
Yeah,
go
it
over
had a
to much
terrible
more
launch.
influential-
Cyberpunk had the
influential
worst
network
launch at the
than
beginning.
any of the legacy media outlets. Fox News. Fox News has a bigger reach.
But it was
than
because of glitches and
ABC
stuff,
or
right?
NBC
Cyberpunk
or,
was just like super
CNN,
glitchy because it was like
MSNBC.
the first game with
And
ray tracing.
no one ever does their analysis.
Oh, I
which
need
is
wisdom, so we
100%
better pick this
negative
up.
for Harris. And
Do you think
I
so?
need to be
It's 100?
smarter.
near, yeah.
She did go on Fox News. I thought that was an interesting choice for
Yeah.
her.
She did. What do you think? I thought she did pretty well.
I thought she did horrible, dude.
Really?
You thought she did pretty well.
But that's how conservatives are.
Because
is conservatives are
I've been
never
willing to
going to
admit
say that she
interviews
did
for
good.
A lot
Never.
of her vice
They're
presidency
never
were
going to
her
say
weak
she did good.
point.
That's
And she
why,
would just
like,
come off sort of
Democrats
unprepared
going
or
on things like
uncomfortable, and then
right-wing
would just revert to talking
Fox
points.
News and shit is
There,
stupid.
she really held her ground.
Just don't
and
do
I
it.
thought that a big criticism of
I
her
mean, I
what
was saying that she
that
should when it happened.
Can she be
So
commander in
I'm,
chief
you know,
if
I'm
she's
just
not
as full of
comfortable
shit
to
as
go
anybody.
into
But
the ring
like,
with
to be
difficult
honest, after
interviewers?
like
And
this election,
I
I
thought
can
she
tell you,
dispelled
conservatives
that
do
talking
not
point
give a
because
fuck what
while
Democrats have to say.
Of course, there are going to be negative moments since it was a Fox News interview, and they prepped it perfectly to try to get her on everything. She really had good responses to the
Coming in
border
solid.
stuff,
Charging.
to the trans
Charging.
thing, to
There's
the
no charge.
economic
charge.
questions, and I thought it showed her ability.
If this was WoW,
in
I'd have a
off-the-script
charge.
moments to handle
You
oppositional
guys should watch me
interviews.
play
It was
Demon
brave
Hunter
of
on
her.
WoW.
I'll say that. I thought the interviewer could have been
Okay, hold
better.
on,
I thought
hold
he
on.
was cutting her off a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. That's just like
Oh, Bear.
I don't know,
He's
common
talking about
courtesy,
Bear.
Did you
but-
see the SNL skit?
no, I actually didn't.
It was
Okay.
really funny.
They were just cutting her off the SNL
Yeah.
skit. Yeah, I thought he could have done better, but no, I thought I don't know. Didn't they
What
end?
would you find negative about it? I'm curious.
Well,
Yeah, I
did they
actually
end it
beat
early? I
Cyberpunk,
think I
yeah.
remember it was cut early or something.
I don't remember.
It was supposed to be longer, and her team
Wait.
cut it.
Oh, how do
Maybe
I get
so.
in there?
But no, I just thought like
Didn't use my
it was
my
just-
portal.
Like we said earlier, I want to see the real side of
Thought I
you. She
had
was
ported.
giving these answers that clearly were rehearsed, which is fine. But elaborate on that a little bit more. You know what I mean? It just felt like copy paste.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is like, if you're gonna go on, okay, Democrats need to understand this. Media is garbage now. Like that. I mean, I understand because I said it too. I was like, no, it's good for her to go on to Fox News. It's good for her to reach across the aisle. There are a lot of things that Democrats should fucking learn from what happened during this election cycle. And if there is one thing that they should 100% learn about this election cycle, it's that news media and going on Fox News and CNN and MSNBC doesn't do jack shit anymore. It's no good. It's not helpful because of what he just said. All of her answers sounded rehearsed because that's what you do in an interview. Like when I do podcasts with people, like every time they expect that I'm going to just ask them these like run-of-the-mill questions, and then they're just going to answer with their same answer they give on every podcast they go on. And it's like, no, I'm just going to talk to you, and then we're going to have a conversation, and then you're going to like loosen up, and you're going to say like, you know, you're going to get a little personal. You're going to say things that you wouldn't say during an interview. And that's what people want to see now. Like, as much as I fucking hate it, like, I want it to be about policy. I wanted it to be about legislation. I wanted it to be about records. I want it to be about finding the best possible person for the job. But it's not that anymore. People are voting on goddamn vibes. That's all they care about. They want to see you, like, chuckling it up. And the closest that she came to doing that on was with fucking, was it Colbert, where she drank a beer, and even that seemed manufactured. Like, her campaign just did a bad job. The people, the old white men in charge of her campaign fucked her over. She should have been going on fucking podcast. And like I said, hindsight's 2020. I was just as bad as anybody else. I was out there saying like, oh no, she's doing a good job. She seems like she's doing all right. She's trying to get conservatives to vote for her. And fucking Redonk came in and he was like, Joe Rogan, bro. And I was like, Joe Rogan, no one's voting her. And fucking that's what happened. Oh, dude, do we have Sandor Clegane? Yeah! Okay, I'm going to let that go, Sandor, just because you're Sandor. And I understand your character. Okay? Look here, burnt face. All right? Sorry that your brother held your fucking face in the fire, dog. Okay? Pun intended. The moratorium on banning Trump supporters for fun, we're going to leave it alone for Sandor Clegane. He gets to stay for now. He gets to stay now. The judgment has been passed. Okay, we got new loots. I should have named this guy Sandor Clegane. Why the fuck didn't I do that? I named him Aegon the Conqueror. Should have went with Sandor. Now I feel like I should have. Now I got to change the character. Okay, what do we got? It doesn't seem very warrior-like to wear a tiara. I don't feel comfortable. My masculinity is jeopardized if I wear a tiara as a warrior. I feel that way. So I'm not going to wear the tiara. How do I sell stuff? I don't want to equip it. That's for damn sure. Can I just sell it to you, ma'am? There you go. Okay, sold it. Fucking sturdy crossbows. Everybody needs a sturdy crossbow. Okay. All right, hold on. Now we want to disenchant the blue ones, right? Okay. Yeah, look at us go. We know how to push buttons. We're not new. We know what we're doing. Boom. Boom. Fucking A. Fucking A. Look at us go. Okay, hold on. I gotta keep my... I want my inventory to be tidy. I like a tidy inventory. Alright. I got a lot of money. I got like 16K. That's a lot of money. Alright. Drizzt. Mr. Duerden. I should have named him Mr. Duerden. I like Jarlaxle. I'm glad you said Drizzt. So many people, I mean, I come from that day and age when people would say Drizzit all the time. Do I have a Drizzt book over here? I know I do. Somewhere in here, there's got to be a Drow book. Oh, nope. Here's some R.A. Salvatore, though. R.A. Salvatore. We got some Salvatore in the house. We got Salvatore in the house. Let's see. Do I not have a Drow book over here? That would be weird. Because I have, like, every one of them. And most of them are down here. It's back in the corner. I can't get to it. I gotta fix my setup again. My setup is it's really nice, but it's still kind of closed in. Feel claustrophobic. Feel a little claustrophobic. Icing Death and Twinkle. That's right. Fucking. Oh, I got Dragonlance for sure. You want to see Dragonlance? Oh, here's one of my favorite Dragonlance. Test of the Twins. Raceland and Caramon. That's my shit right there. Okay. Oh. Some Tasselhoff. Okay, fucking Tasselhoff. We got Tasselhoff. Do we have the Autumns here? We got Legend of Huma. Oh, here's the originals. It's not the original cover art, though. Dragons of Winter Night. This is the blue dragons. Let's see. I don't see Autumn Twilight down here, though. My wife read those books like way after I read them. Now my books are falling all over the place. I gotta clean this up down here. It's getting crazy. Oh, here it is. Dragons of Autumn Twilight. The first book. Dragons of Autumn Twilight. This is such a good fucking book. These books made me a fantasy novel reader for like the rest of my life. I shit you not, when I first came up here when I was a kid, I was 12 years old. And I read a bunch of books that my mom had that were just on her bookshelf. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And then a friend of mine turned me on to those books. And yeah. Like I said, I can't quite get to the Drizzt books because they're back down in the corner behind the bookshelf under the desk. But I'm pretty sure I have all of the Drow books. Oh, you want an R.A. Salvatore book? I mean, I haven't read it in years, so I don't know if it's still good or not. But when I was a kid, Sword of Bedwire. This was a really, really fucking good book. And like I said, I don't know. I haven't read it in years, so it might not hold up now. But this is his... this is a different world that R.A. Salvatore wrote about. The Crimson Sword world. This is a really good book. But like I said, I was a young adult when I read it, so it might not hold up. The Old Forgotten Realms books always had badass art cover. Yeah, all of the Drow books always had really sweet cover art. Because Drizzt was always a dope one. Let's see, what do I have down here? What do I got? What do I got, boys? Oh, here you go. What do you got down here? Oh, that's terrible art. This isn't the new. This is the new art. Oh, here we go. There's some older art. The Azure Bonds. That's a really good book. Great book. Grift. A gigantic dinosaur wizard. Fucking like a dinosaur wizard. It doesn't get cooler than dinosaur wizards. Okay? That's right. I don't know who Frank Franzetta is, but I'll try to be him too. Yeah, I'm digging through I was digging through the shelf. There's a lot of books right here. It's a shelf of books, and it's like 3 deep. So you gotta get behind the other books to get to the books. It's a little deep in there. Yeah, Kinders. Yeah, the Kinders with Tasselhoff and all those guys. Yeah. All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't played in years. My sister sent me a bunch of.
I think
modules.
we hold her to such a different standard
Google sheeted a
than
bunch
Trump.
of
Some of this
modules
feels
for
less
me.
relevant now that
But I haven't played in years.
he's won because the comparison between the two of them is less relevant. But she'll go in. She'll get asked a
back to
question
the
about
massacre.
a
We're trying to
subject.
level.
And even if it's a prepared talking point, she addresses generally the subject. And then Trump gets asked any question, and he just starts saying, "They're coming from jails. They're coming from insane asylums," and repeats like 5
They're
talking
coming
points
from
whenever we
insane
are prepping for
asylums.
the show each day. Whenever the campaign was going on, he would do all these different events. We'd be playing it out loud while we're working on other stuff.
Dude, don't run.
And,
Bro,
any
die.
question
Okay.
he's asked, I
He's
could
dead.
throw out
Okay.
3 different phrases.
Oh, what's
that he's
going
gonna
on
go
here,
to, and
boys?
he'll go to one of them.
What you guys
And
doing?
often they're just
Hi.
meandering and doing what
You
he
guys
calls
fucking
the
summoning
weed,
a
which is really
demon?
just rambling.
Oh, Cruel Barb.
I think we never criticize.
Fucking
not
calm it
we
down,
never,
Cruel
but
Barb.
folks
Yeah,
who
take
criticize
that.
Harris for
Earthquake,
not
bitch. Oh.
comprehensively enough or succinctly
I'm
enough
doing any damage.
addressing certain questions never
Oh, take that
put that
though.
on Trump when
Wow.
it's difficult
Boom.
to find an example of him
Boom.
just
Oh,
directly
Cruel Barb,
and
you fucking
concisely
suck,
answering
Cruel.
questions.
Oh, we're Dark Souls
there
it
are
now.
no
Time to Dark Souls it,
examples
boys.
I remember of him just
Oh, look
clearly,
at us go.
like talking about
Fucking-
policies, for example.
We're doing rings around this
So
guy.
I'll give you
Oh,
that
he
for
ain't got
sure.
shit.
And when he does, like the
Oh, he's
Terrence
stunned.
moment I know you referenced earlier.
Oh, fucking wrecked.
They convey a true lack of understanding about the policies he's talking about, which is what frightens me
no,
that
we got
Americans
from-
are so
we
willing to
picked it
vote
up.
for him when every time he's
Magic
asked
the
about
Gathering?
policy,
No,
if
I've
he
never
really
played
does
it.
Give it a go. It's
Yeah,
like a
you can't
child
help but
talking
do the
about
Trump
policy.
voice.
Well, hopefully he could just make
Is that
the
in
right
TSG?
hires, you know?
I never read
Yeah.
any Token.
Yeah, which he's not doing.
Token
You
was
don't
always
think
too
Elon and
wordy for
Vivek
me.
were a good thing with Doge?
We'll have to.
The Token books, like my problem with the Token books was, it was like every time that he would talk about like a door, and he'd be like, the door, it was made of ancient wood, and it had scroll work, leaves, and trees, and elves and dwarves drinking together. It was 7 foot in height and 3 feet spanned. It was brown with a light beige. It was gilded. And I'm like, it's a fucking door frame. We're going to be here all day. Fucking, can we move on from the door frame? It was too much for me. Way too much. No, I wasn't out of stamina. I had all the stamina. I was
To
good.
see what they do.
I fucking worked that
but
guy.
The
worked
whole Elon Trump alliance.
We can
has
play
given
some
me
Dark Souls on here.
Some major.
I've beaten like all the Dark Souls.
What concerns?
Most people
Nope.
have no clue that in 2024,
Nope.
the best way to make money with Amazon is not by
Fugoff.
I think
Not happening.
Elon, as he's shown it in some of his past business
damn it.
ventures,
I hate that I have to
can
click
get
onto the screen every time.
unrealistic with what he believes possible.
Oh, we got a point.
And I'm worried
We
he's
got a
going to
point.
end up doing a goal of his, which is cutting trillions and trillions out of the budget, which I also would like us to be more fiscally
we can't
responsible,
burn
which
anything
Democrats
yet. I
have a
don't
better
think that's a
history with
good
that
idea.
than Republicans do.
More
when it comes to
strength?
debt. But
I think we go more strength, right?
not do so in a childlike
like every
way where we
time.
end up
It's always
taking
the
economy.
answer. More strength.
But wouldn't
He's a
cutting
strong man.
these agencies that are
He's
inefficient
a very
help the
strong
economy?
man.
Well, a lot of the agencies, I don't know which
has
ones
a
they're
big
planning
hammer.
on just completely.
He's gonna
throwing
build
out the
that
window. I know
wall
I've heard like the
with that
Department of
hammer. He's
Education
gonna make
to just go.
He's gonna make the
completely.
hunting grounds pay
While
for
there's
it.
inefficiencies and there's issues and improvements, again, it's this. I've always said that Republicans are a lot better at bumper sticker politics, things that fit
Yes.
nicely onto a bumper sticker and are simple
Yes.
and you can get your head around it real quickly. Whereas Democrats will spend
Fucking
too much
need a
time
paragraph and a
addressing
half
the
to
nuances
tell you.
and it just
Yeah,
misses
exactly.
people completely.
Good job, Luke.
And so it does.
Luke
sound
stole
nice.
that
Let's
from
just-
me.
These agencies are not working perfectly for us. Let's just throw them in the garbage can altogether, missing what
It's
the
okay,
actual
Luke. I'm gonna
utilities
become
are
a
that they
professional
serve,
gamer,
even
so
if
Luke can
not
have
as
politics
effectively as we'd
now.
like.
Luke can have
I'm a fan
politics
of
because
the
I'm gonna fucking
Department of
become a
Education getting rid of it.
professional
How do you
Path
feel
of
about that
Exile
one?
2
No,
player.
I don't think we should.
You don't think so? Why?
We need to go in the other direction. We need to add more.
You went to public school, right?
investments and effort into
You went to
public
wow.
schools, yeah.
That
You
sounded
went to
like a
public school, though?
diss.
Yeah.
That
And
sounded
you-
like a
what was your
diss.
experience? You felt like
You
it was
went
a
to
good
public
I went to a
school,
really
right?
good public school, so I'll be transparent about that. I don't think it's representative of most public schools, but I had a great experience.
Okay.
Pop up,
I
bro.
had a pretty
Pop up.
lackluster
That's
experience,
what
I'd
I
say, and I
thought.
feel like most people
Oh, yeah.
would agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So the solution is to
Provide,
less hard to
Man.
go back
Oh,
towards
wait.
state powers for schools. That's what Trump wants.
Well, then I'm worried about the red states who have such worse education often. Like when you have these poorly run red states that would rather pass things on like trans issues or something than do anything to improve education.
We're in trouble.
When you completely give up any federal support
all right. Hold on.
or federal initiatives to improve education,
Get behind
it's
the
just gonna
tree.
go even
Get behind
more
the
in
tree.
dumps.
So you don't
Boom.
want states to have more power. You want the
Oh,
federal
miss. Whiff.
regulation
Big
to
whiff.
have more power.
Oh,
than
these are
states.
bad guys.
Depends on the issue.
These guys are yellow.
But on education,
Oh, big whiff. Okay.
across the board, we need to be.
Oh, where'd my
raising
tree
the
go?
bar.
Oh, the
And
tree's
so I
back.
think a federal
Tree's back.
approach, while education is mostly left of the states,
we're
and I
okay.
see the
We're okay.
the benefits to that. We definitely need to nationally raise the standard
Oh.
and
Oh.
be more educationally
Oh.
effective.
That's what
I just feel like there's better things we could be teaching the kids that are coming up, man.
This guy.
Yeah, how do you
This
mean?
guy thinks
Just
yeah.
like, well, you went to a good school, so I don't know what you were learning, but a lot of the stuff I learned, I'm not using.
All
like,
gender theory.
they didn't teach that when I was in school.
Nah, I'm kidding.
But just like, I don't know, a revamp, or at least teach some stuff that makes sense, like how to pay taxes, how to run a
maximum
business,
lung,
stuff
maximum
like
strength,
No, I'm with
melee,
you on that.
zero.
I'm
not
intelligence.
asking for, like,
Yeah, we're not
crazy
gonna have
changes.
any intelligence on this
Yeah,
guy.
I thought of that too.
That's not the way to go.
I don't know how you would do
That's
this.
not the
That's
move.
probably more on a
The move is not
on a
to,
state by
to
state or
fucking
even
stack
locality
intelligence on
There
the
we go.
warrior.
basis for I'm
Smartest
saying
warrior in
to
the realms, bro.
realistically implement some of the things you're talking about. But to be clear, abolishing the Department of Education doesn't create good state governments to do the things we're talking about.
Fair.
I'm saying if
Exactly.
realistically I wanted to try out some of the
Are you guys
changes,
ready for this?
yeah, probably I'd
Oh,
have a
I
better
think I've already
chance
killed this guy, though.
lobbying my,
Did I not
my
kill this
local,
guy?
a school district or whatever. But I've
No, I
really been
guess I didn't
baffled.
kill
even
him.
the school
What's
that I
up,
went
buddy?
to on the time we'll spend
What's
on
happening,
certain
big guy?
things and super
Boom,
high
boss fight.
mathematics. And
Oh.
I didn't know
Oh,
all of the
oh,
basics of finances
oh.
and stuff
Right.
out of high school. No,
I
I
didn't
got
learn how to pay taxes.
Yeah.
My first
Oh.
tax bill, I was like, what,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is this?
totally.
Like, you know what I mean? And then I
Fucking
knew how to do
earthquake.
pre-calc. When am
We
I going to use
earthquaked,
pre-calc?
okay?
yeah.
Okay, we're dodging.
Again, I don't
we're
know how
dodging.
that connects to
Oh, boom.
gutting
Earthquaked again.
educational funding and stuff. But
Well, the Department
Oh,
of
we're jumping
Education,
around.
don't they provide
He's
the
running.
academic agenda
He's
for
running.
these teachers to teach?
He's running.
I guess
Where
sort
are you
of, but
going?
I
Come
think
back,
the
dog.
types of changes you're talking
I got
about
something for you.
would come of more
I'm so fat and slow.
heightened interest in improving
Okay.
federal level or
Earthquaking?
not. Again,
Okay, we
the federal
earthquaked.
government
We
moves a little
dodged.
slow on these things.
Boom.
And
Boom.
my worry
Running.
is sometimes
Okay.
I'll hear these
Oh.
interesting
Fucking
prescriptions
play by play.
to
Play by. Oh, he hasn't
social
hit me.
or,
Oh, he hit me. He hit me.
economic issues or whatever it might
Oh wait,
be.
stunning,
And
stunning.
the solution
oh,
is
get
to
work.
make it
Get work.
even less possible
Oh,
to achieve
get.
those.
Are we even
like,
hitting
let's
it?
just
It doesn't seem like we're doing much
completely
damage.
privatize education.
Fair
Earthquake.
enough. Where are you on the reproductive
Oh,
rights
big uppercut. He
movement?
tried to
Where do you
Mike
stand on
Tyson
that?
me.
Very pro
Oh,
reproductive
whiff.
rights.
You're pro.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump wants to give that
Oh,
power to
you
the
are
state.
you are
that decision,
getting.
right?
Oh, whoa,
Yeah, that's
whoa!
his
What are you doing, dude?
position now.
Dude,
He's
put it
flipped around
down.
on it, but
Put it.
he's been super.
Where's he going with
destructive
the bell?
injustice he got in the Supreme Court. I did think that.
Oh, I'm not doing any damage.
I don't know what role it played.
Come back
but
with my
I thought it was
bell.
gonna
That's
lead
my
Harris to
bell.
victory, not because that's
I don't-
the
I
top
don't know whose
issue
bell
for
that is.
everyone.
He took
but
somebody's
because
bell.
there really was this midterm
Fucking guy. Hold on.
phenomenon right
Hold
after
on.
the
Come here, big
overturning of Roe
guy.
v. Wade, where people were
Fucking earthquake. Dodge.
me, really
Oh yeah.
upset
Hit,
with that.
dodge.
and they correctly
Duck.
blamed
Dive. Dodge.
Republican Party
Duck
for it.
and dive.
Since
Oh.
then, again, the
Big
memory
dodge.
can get
Big dodge.
abstracted
Oh,
pretty quickly
stunned.
for a lot of people, and all of a sudden.
Oh. Fucking
I've
whack.
talked to people who blame Biden for it because he
Oh.
was president
Nice.
when it
Nice.
happened.
All right.
or
Hold on. Backing away.
they,
Backing away.
You know, very
Oh.
confused. I
Oh,
heard
big
one
whiff.
lady who said
Oh, it
she
might- backing
voted
away might
for
have been a
Trump
mistake.
because Trump says he's
Might
not
have
going
been-
to sign
oh,
an abortion ban, and
nice.
that's good because she believes in reproductive
I think
rights.
we did kill
I think
him
people
already
get
'cause we didn't get the
a little
book from
disoriented
him
on
this time.
these things.
He
but
took my bell,
yeah,
bro.
I think Trump should have been electorally punished.
He
The
took
Republican
my
Party
bell.
needs to be because this has been a decades-long project to overturn Roe v. Wade, and then we need to do more work within the Democratic
Talking about
Party
Twitter.
to make
Does
sure
he
when
still
we
talk
have
about that?
unified control.
We need a
of the
boss,
House
a
and
game
the
with
White House
bosses
again,
that have
we
Trump
actually
face. That'd be
enshrine
amazing.
Reproductive rights in the federal law, because that's a
We should work on that.
justifiable
It
bit
should
of
be easy
outrage
enough
from
to make a
people who
game
are
nowadays,
pro-reproductive
right?
rights,
Like,
but
we could
not
make a
that
game.
motivated to support
We could.
Democrats because they
It's
feel
easy.
like they already failed
Fucking
them.
easy. We'll
not
just have
protecting them
AI do it.
before.
Make an AI game with Trump
Kamala,
face.
how do you think she handled the border stuff? That was a huge issue this election, right?
Went
The
too far
immigrants.
right. She
Yeah,
went too far right.
Kamala.
Kamala.
We're gonna get it
Pac-Man
right.
corrected me on this already.
We weren't ready.
We're fast
We didn't know
away.
that was going to
Still
happen.
can't Get it.
Hold on.
But
Hold on.
Yeah, I think she handled it the best that she could, meaning
Oh.
politically. Obviously, on the
Fucking
policy, they should have
skeletons.
started more actively and publicly
Oh,
and
yeah.
aggressively
Oh,
implementing
murdered.
or trying to policy on the issue. They did. I'll admit they did slow walk. Now, right when Biden came into office, he proposed an immigration reform package, and
Oh,
Republicans
big
were
one.
like, nah.
Big one. Look at that
So
one.
I do put a
Boom!
lot of blame
Smash.
Republicans. And
Game
then it
over.
became even more clear when they shot down
GG.
that border security bill that was just everything they'd want. It was crafted by a Republican
I don't know
senator.
what he did there.
It became clear, oh, this is just an issue you like to fearmonger about. It's not really that you want to solve
that
it.
sounds like a good idea,
And
Simon. I
federal
think
legislation
I
like
think you
that
could make
border
some money
security bill
'cause
that Harris
I don't have
supported
time to make it.
would have made
There's
a more
mods.
systemic
There are mods for this already.
effort to address this longstanding issue as opposed to
There's not
just
mods
what
for this
an
already,
executive
right?
can do. So it
Wait.
definitely is something
See if we got-
Republicans
we got
shouldn't
some
be
loot,
getting all
boys.
this political advantage from because of their record on it, and they never want to engage with the Biden administration. But I understand why
scrolls
people
at?
were upset by it, and
What kind of loot am I
the
rocking?
issues
Oh,
that
I've
are
got a
present
yellow. Look
again,
at
that
that
if
loot.
caveats
I've got good
shouldn't
loot.
justify the insane dehumanization or the poisoning,
ring,
the blood
yellow
river from
vest.
Trump and this crazy stuff.
Yellow
Separate from
hammer?
that, though, I do think Harris
Oh, I need a belt.
immediately took a better approach than
I
Biden,
got
which
no
was
belt, boys.
not shying away from that issue and going after Republicans for it. And Trump gave her the perfect way to do it, which is the border security
I
bill
don't
and
think
him
any of
calling
this
out
stuff
Republicans
does me
saying,
any
don't
good."
pass anything on the border because I want to run on it.
So that was true because I heard that.
Yeah, we're just gonna
So he
we're
was
gonna take it
calling
back to
people,
this town and
Yeah.
sell
telling
it.
them not to pass any bills.
Yeah, and it.
Good job, Silent.
defense,
That's how we do it.
If some people in your audience might be
Trump
thinking,
mods
"No,
in games. Is there a
John,
Trump
point
mod
out
in,
that it was a
in
bad bill."
Skyrim?
A lot of people are misinformed what the bill was.
I was gonna be somebody.
Like, for example,
I was gonna
when
be
certain
somebody.
border
but then I
processing
took
thresholds
an arrow
are hit,
in my
then
knee.
an emergency power is given to the president where
I
they
walked
can
in,
restrict
I
the
said,
asylum
"Wow,
process like no president
wow,
has had the
that's a
power to
lot of
do."
arrows.
So then Trump took that
Now,
and said,
that's an arrow
"Oh,
in my
they're
knee."
allowing in completely freely that number of people, which wasn't what it said. A lot of people believe that's why it was a bad bill.
He rode at me. He
or
rode at me like a
numerous
dragon.
other
Rode at me like a dragon. We're gonna
distorted
build the
things about it.
wall.
It
We're gonna
actually
build the
was a
wall.
very
We're gonna make
conservative
Morrowind pay
too
for it.
conservative for a lot of Democrats.
We're gonna
But
make the cats
I was
pay
happy
for
with
it.
that because
what
we
are the
need
cats named?
to show people we're taking the issue seriously. Yes, we also want to
I want to say
promote
Mithra, but I'm
and
pretty sure
support
isn't that that's
and push
Final
back
Fantasy
against the
14.
demonization of lawful immigration. And right now, the insane fear mongering about undocumented immigration is
Khajiit.
actually now
That's what it was.
widening
Khajiit.
to just immigration
Sorry,
generally. And you know, some
I
Republicans
came
talk
in.
about taking
Yeah,
away
you guys
birthright
have a lot of
citizenship.
homeless. I
And
said,
so we have
"Wow, who
to
are these
do
cats?
Two things again, but nuance
These
is
cats,
really
they have
difficult in
lots of
politics,
stuff.
And Trump's just
Cats,
really
the Khajiit.
basic
They call them the Khajiit.
and
They're everywhere.
historically sourced fear mongering.
Gonna deport the Khajiit.
Impact people more
The
visibly.
Khajiit are committing
Yeah.
crimes.
But again, Harris,
Gonna-
she was gonna
gonna
be her on the issue. It looks like
denaturalize
it
all of the
actually didn't
Khajiit.
hurt her, and she made a lot of inroads. The exit polls showed that
That's
people
where we're
trusted
at.
her. I think it was like in the 40s of percentage, which is pretty good. It was like 40
I
something.
don't know.
to 52
Gaming
maybe.
fucking streams
And
could be where it's
55
at nowadays,
for
guys.
Trump. That's a
Instead of me
much
just
smaller
sitting
gap
here
than it
ranting
was
about
before than it was with Biden. So clearly her
sitting here
rhetoric
ranting about
made a
politics,
difference
we're
in her
gonna
taking this
we're gonna
the
just
issue
do
seriously.
fucking Trump voice
I think
talking
the
about
economy was the
Morrowind.
big thing though.
Yeah, I think she could have addressed that more. I will say on the border stuff,
oh,
a
wait,
lot of the fear
where's
I
the
was
hood
seeing
dude?
with
The
that
hood-
was
hood
these
dude
people
does
would
my
get
thing.
in and
This guy
some
helps
of them
me.
would be able to vote.
You help me.
And I remember I had Harry Sisson on the show, and I asked him like before the election, like, are these illegal
Reading is
immigrants going to
hard.
be able to vote? And he said no. And then you see this chart where all these states have no voter ID, and there's like 10 states. Did you see that
Dude,
chart?
Do you
There are no
not
voter ID
understand
sites,
how the
yeah.
voter ID works?
But I mean, you have to identify yourself to get registered, and you go.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
When you say
caught.
identify, what is that process though?
When you register to vote, you have to put one of your identifiers in.
yes.
Driver's
So,
license down
so
there
if
or
you
something.
came here
Yes.
illegally, would you be able to vote
So
though?
then you wouldn't be able to vote.
No.
You wouldn't be able
Right.
to.
Which is why every single time this
How,
is studied, the
how does
reason
he
that
talk to these fucking
I
people and they don't
understand
know
actually
any of
why
this
people
shit?
on the not even voter ID,
Like
but I
you're a
guess it's like
fucking
physical
political
photo IDs they
commentator.
want
How do you
to
not
take it a
know
step
any? Okay,
further
maybe this guy isn't a
in
political
some of the
commentator.
red states.
Hold on.
The reason is because they're actually
I have to fucking
I
pause this.
wasn't even familiar with this honestly because my
Is this guy not a political commentator? Digital social hour. Maybe not. This is like the problem. This is like, see, I'm doing the reverse. I'm doing the reverse, guys. I'm trying to solve this problem. I'm a political person that's trying to now be in the gaming sphere. The problem in today's fucking politics is people like Asmongold are like, you know what I think about this? I think this really stupid thing about this, but I make these funny faces when I say it. So all of the people that watch me don't know whether or not I'm serious. Just fucking Jesus Christ, how does he not know that you have to present a fucking ID when you register? They have your signature on file in every fucking state. And this is why I can't do politics anymore. I can't do politics anymore. You know why I can't do politics anymore? Because it's fucking exhausting. Because every single thing that somebody believes is fucking dumb. Like, yeah, but there's 30 to 40 million immigrants that came across the border in the last 10 years. That's 10% of America's population. If the population of America went up by 10% with people that can't speak English, you would have fucking noticed. Yeah, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is either. Oh, Jesus Christ. But it just drives me nuts when people, like, they're talking about stuff and the other person's going, but is that true? Like, that's the Joe Rogan effect, right? It's like Joe Rogan has made so many people just feel like they can ask the dumbest fucking questions with all the confidence. They're just like, yeah, I know that this sounds probably not true at all, but I'm going to say it, and then you're going to correct me, and then I'm just going to move on like you didn't. That's what we're going to do here. Modern wisdom. I picked up a wisdom scroll.
Right when I was 16, I got my driver's license, so
I picked up a wisdom scroll, so I'm good to go. I'm good, bro.
A lot of people actually don't have any.
I know a lot.
Photo IDs.
I know a lot.
I think it's like 10%.
We're moving into gaming now,
and so
we can't do it anymore. We can't deal with politics because people are too fucking dumb.
Is it worth the hoop you're having them jump through for the security that it's implementing? And what you see is it actually is not preventing the type of fraud that people think that it would. We don't have that type of fraud in any notable way.
Let's see if we can get a new.
And every single time this is studied, it's essentially 0%.
Let's power up
fraud. And so why
look at that
induce more inconvenience?
What does that do?
When we should want people to exercise the right to vote if the elections are secure? And again,
is that podcast?
To the fact they are.
Interesting.
Modern
0%.
Wisdom. Okay,
near zero.
We'll work
it's
on
like
it.
Point something, you know.
Okay.
That looks pretty cool.
I'm actually.
What does that do?
If that's true, I gotta look into that.
He like
we have
yells?
really, really good secure elections.
What does that
There's
do?
still issues, but
Puts
this is
people
what's
on fire?
so infuriating about what Trump did. And again, we have to care. Facts matter. Just because Trump repeats something over and over doesn't make it
people in the area will come bust to death.
He brought dozens of
court
cases. They all got
I like the idea
down.
of people dying by fire. This should be fine.
Out of court over and over.
Okay, we got another one. This one breaks the armor. This is probably the one that, like, this is probably a smart pick, right?
Right-wing group.
The smart pick is probably to break the armor.
Can't remember the name, but a right-wing group that got access to the Maricopa County.
Oh, it also knocks people back.
They also determined the Biden win was legitimate.
Is he a
Every
shaman?
single time you have
Am I a shaman now?
Investigators, Ken Block was a guy who Trump's
like
campaign was
AOE.
paying to try to find fraud. He's been speaking out saying, no, he's lying, not widespread voter fraud. And so
shield charge. Oh, look,
there's
a charge.
You just have to acknowledge
I just
that
need to have a
he's
fucking
been
shield.
lying. And that is such a destructive lie because
Tony Michaels has a new liberal party.
Side
I might rock that.
where
we might have to do it.
A more significant dedication to our democracy, so we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Even though it is kind of mind-boggling.
It definitely stopped
just
being
as an example.
Fun. Well, it
Elon
stopped
Musk
being fun when he stopped bringing on all the intellectual people, too.
Imagine if George
Soros he's only as good as the guest.
Yep.
The guest is what makes... We're going to do this one because it just looks cool.
But if George Soros purchased Twitter and the reports were coming out that Soros was helping to censor stories that were bad for Harris, and then Soros started spending $1 million a day in a way that some election experts
we can do the uncut gem thing
to get people on this petition so that the Trump campaign could, or the America PAC could target them for voter outreach
what does
stuff.
That do?
And if Soros were doing that and he had a platform leveraging it for Harris, that would be the biggest right-wing justification to say, see, it's stolen. But then Elon Musk does it. No one cares. There was a recent video of Elon Musk raising his hand when someone said, we need a Soros of the right. So they have sort of these conspiracies that then justify their own bad acts that we were never engaging in.
What does this one do?
Even with all of the things about this election that were mind-boggling and a landslide when Trump's a historically unpopular figure and all of it, we still respect enough because there's no evidence of outcome-determinative fraud to say it's absolutely legitimate. And Biden has the character to bring Trump to the White House.
He's a pyramid
Harris
expert.
Concedes clearly, unequivocally. And Republicans just sort of go, all right, cool, yay, we're going to benefit from their dedication.
I don't know how much Tony Michaels curses, but he can't possibly curse more than I do.
But we're not going to rethink at all our attacks on democracy over the last
is that possible?
Yeah, Elon bought
Can we
Twitter
start a party where
he's
cursing is
conservative
completely
the past few
acceptable?
years, but
I feel like it'd be something.
Previous social media
I like musicians come on too.
Under
I just get
Democratic
tired of
leadership,
all of
and
them
Google
talking
is
about
one of
politics.
the biggest donors,
like
the Democrats.
Dude,
so.
like
Well, I'm
not a
saying
shut up and
people
dribble
have
kind
the
of guy,
ability to
but
vote
it's
on
like it
candidates
does
that
seem
is
like
rich,
it's
but I'm
like
saying
every single fucking
you
person
never had
wants to
someone
talk
purchase a
politics,
platform
and
then
nobody knows
overtly
shit
say,
about
"I'm wanting
politics. So
to
it's
get this
fucking
person elected."
annoying.
Okay.
And
It's
here's
just
what
like
I'm gonna
listening to
do.
this
I'm
guy.
using
It's like
my
listening to this guy
platform
talk to Luke
and the
Beasley.
enhanced
It's like,
reach I have because
bro,
I
if you
own
want
this
to talk about
platform,
politics and you
do
need to
anything I
like
can to help
actually
get Trump
like
elected.
understand
Elon
some of the
Musk
subject matter that
just
you want to talk about, not
absurdly
just fucking
acting like if Harris
conspiracy
wins, there's not
theories
gonna be any
and
more
how you
elections.
vibed with Trump during
yeah,
the
he did
election, not
strongly advocate
Kamala.
for Trump. I'll
God
agree
damn it,
with
now
that.
I'm saying Kamala.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Kamala.
like the owner. I haven't seen Mark Zuckerberg.
I've been
I
watching
guess
this shit for
strongly
too
backing
long.
it.
But again, I'm not saying that's proof of anything illegitimate about the election. I mean, unless the Pennsylvania $1 million a day thing was breaking voter laws, then he can
It
be held accountable.
wasn't.
But I'm not saying this was proof that
unfortunate,
anything
but it
was
wasn't.
wrong about Trump winning, other than
Where'd you
know,
go, buddy?
wanting it to happen.
Oh, you brought your
My
friends.
point is that
Oh, I
they
got something for
use
your
much
friends.
weaker arguments than
Bam.
I just made.
Oh,
to
shit's on
justify the
fire.
lies
Oh, I
about
keep forgetting to use my
Democratic
fire
wins.
stuff.
And the other
There we
thing
go.
is a big
Boom.
thing that I've been hearing from
Boom.
Republicans is
Get wrecked.
you have to
How often
now
can I
admit
use
we
that?
must be right about some stuff. You know, oh, look at the 70+
Boom.
million people who voted
Boom.
for Trump.
Boom.
See,
Oh, yeah, that's
the
good.
left. Now it's
Oh,
time
look at
for
this
you
guy.
to admit you're
Bane
wrong about
Pelt.
these things.
Uh-oh. Bane Pelt does
But
damage.
whenever we
Bane
get
Pelt does
81 million
damage.
votes, it's that's impossible. It's stolen. And
Okay,
they
we got
don't
that guy
really
hiding
need
behind a tree.
protection.
Hiding behind a
So,
tree.
Again, there's all these double
Aha.
standards that are infuriating.
That didn't
I
work.
always
That didn't
want to
work.
engage in introspection. I always want to try to figure out where I can
Boom!
be sympathetic
Big damage.
and figure out where people are coming from. But it gets
Uh-oh.
my
We're in
fuse is
trouble. We're
getting
okay.
shorter.
I feel that. Do you personally use X?
Emotions change
I know
really
Don
fast.
Lemon just announced he's leaving.
Oh,
Do you still
nice.
use it?
Yeah, I do. I'll keep using it.
Okay. I do like that they don't censor you on X.
Fuck
It's
X.
some people, but yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, the story about
It's a goddamn cesspit over there.
I'm blanking on the particular one, but there was one
Can't
that
do it.
I think it was a Rolling Stone article.
Oh,
broke
Blight Scuttle
about
the Ferocious is
the
about
Musk
to get his
campaign
ass
coordinating
handed
with
to him.
Trump to censor
Boom,
a particular
stunned.
story.
Stunned, big
that was
work, big
disadvantageous.
work. Boom,
But all
boom.
platforms are going to have
Big work.
you know,
Oh.
terms of service, and they have the right to enforce them.
more.
Or companies. You're signing up to
Oh,
use the
yeah,
platform,
look
so
at
they
the
can do
loots.
that. And then we can take issue with what their policies are and how they're enforcing them. Fine.
X is fucking cancer.
I don't love when
dude.
people equate that with governmental censorship, which is the real free speech
All right, here we go.
thing. But I understand the magnitude of these platforms now, and
so much cancer on the X.
in the court
I
of
can't
public
do it.
opinion, we need to
Like
hold
when
people
people are
accountable
like,
for unjust
I mean, I
terms of
initially
service or
left
whatever.
X because I just
But,
don't feel like.
yeah, I know
I mean, if I'm
conservatives like
seriously
X
going to
more
sit
now.
here and call
I mean, you saw
Elon Musk an
Trump get
oligarch,
banned almost everywhere
then I can't like
on
sit
social
there
media.
and
Remember
like
that?
I do.
be on his
Facebook,
platform
Instagram, I
giving
think
him money.
YouTube
Like that's
even, and
just mildly
Twitter at the time,
hypocritical.
right? Twitter
But
at the time.
to be honest with you, it is
Yeah,
like
that was a tough one.
it is
What
a
do you think of that whole,
depressing
I guess,
fucking
incident?
place to be.
I
It is
understand again
so
these private
gross
platforms
on
going,
X.
wait, did we just give a platform to
Like,
someone who
like,
incited
dude,
an
seriously, I
insurrection?
grew up with trolling.
Is it our
I like fucking dark
responsibility to
humor.
not allow
I like
that? But I
lowbrow
also
humor.
get how
It's
tenuous
nothing to do with it. It's
that
just a
can get
gross,
and how
weird
you gotta be
place
really,
where people like right wing people just jerk off to each
mindful of
other,
when
and they're
you're
like,
taking
dude, I'm
especially
like,
someone that
I can say
relevant
the worst
and
shit
notable off of
possible.
the
It's like,
platform,
it's
but
not
Trump
funny.
did
Nothing you
violate
say
the
is
terms of
fucking
service
funny.
over and over and over again. So
I've had a few
how do I use
videos
my
get
map?
deleted. Has that happened to you before on YouTube or anywhere?
yeah, and again,
That's not how I use my
sometimes
map.
I wonder
not
what
how
it's
I use my
like
map.
to
That's
do
not-
what I
that's
see a
not
lot
how
of
I use
other,
my map.
especially MAGA influencers do,
Hold on.
framing it as an attack against them. You know, oh, the deep state, social media.
Yeah.
is trying
I
to
actually
keep me
did
down.
get a deep state video taken down, ironically enough.
Yeah, but when it happens to me, I'm just like, all right, well,
Yeah, I get it.
I
A few
used
of
to play
mine were
D4.
like just topics that you
D4.
couldn't talk about at the time. You know, it wasn't even me.
I'm
it was
on
the
Blue
guest
Sky.
saying it, so.
I am on Blue
Yeah,
Sky.
that bothers me,
It's a
'cause
nice
I've
place.
been
It's
debating
like
people and the
it's the
video will get-
opposite.
Oh.
It is very like
Whatever, is
chill.
it
People
demonetized
like
or-
you know
one
what
time
I
I
like
got a
about Blue
YouTube
Sky. I'm
strike.
just gonna say this real quick.
because I was covering a QAnon person.
You know what I like about Blue Sky is you can like it's definitely more towards like you like certain feeds and then you can just see those feeds. So one of the things that drives me nuts about X is how much shit you get from Elon Musk and all the crazy right-wingers that pop up on your goddamn feed. And I know that it's due to the algorithm, so it's like if you're talking shit, like I talk a lot of shit. So if you're talking shit on right-wing posts, then you're going to get a bunch of right-wing posts. But it's like, that's all I ever see. Like, I have all these other people that I have liked and followed that are like science or interesting, like fucking alien shit and stuff like that. None of that stuff ever comes across my feed because they post like once a day and fucking Charlie Kirk posts like 74 times a day. So it's like, it's fucking gross. And so what I like about Blue Sky is I just like the science feed or whatever, or like I'll like the what's the neuroscience feed, and then I can literally just click into that feed and it allows me to just see posts from people that post that stuff. That's what I like about it. Yeah, I actually played D4 for a really long time. Didn't you play D4 with me? D4 is just kind of boring, to be honest with you. It's just so fucking repetitive. I mean, maybe this game will be too at one point. I don't know. I haven't gotten to the in game of this yet, but I like it so far. It's like interesting. It's definitely different than Diablo. There's like a lot more like movement based stuff. So I like that. I like how you're like jumping around, and with D4 it was like the dash, right? Like you could dash. So I mean, it's like kind of the same, but I think it might be better towards the end. We'll see what happens. I like the game so far, though. It's a fun game.
Have you debated Nick Fuentes yet?
No, I probably
D4 was a bummer. It was fun at the beginning.
Have you debated
like when
Nick
it first
Fuentes
came
yet?
out, it was a fun game.
No,
it was
I
like,
probably won it.
It grew so
yeah,
goddamn
he wanted to come
old.
on the show. I kind of
How?
even for me,
Do
like I
bring up
have
my
on
map?
everyone, but
That
that
is
one I
not
don't know.
how I bring
Yeah,
up my
I
map.
actually struggle with that because like we just had a Trump supporter on that's pretty fringe,
Who was it?
but Isabella Moody.
I don't know that one.
She's
But-
fringe?
So I don't.
Isabella
I don't know where the line
Moody's
is, honestly.
fringe?
My thing is, as long as I'm pushing back against it.
Oh, wait. That's
I don't
how I
have
bring
a
up my map.
principle
Found
against debating Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
Just sometimes I think
I'm
you have
supposed
be
to find
mindful
this
of,
dude in a tree somewhere.
Are they benefiting
it?
way more from the exchange than your audience is, or than people out hearing the debate are? Is it valuable to argue basic tenets of like, is
Debate is
racism
garbage.
bad or something?
I can't get
whatever,
behind debate. It
Nick
doesn't seem like it
Fuentes
does
wanna
any
debate.
good.
Is that a valuable discussion?
Okay, there's the
I don't know.
Cemetery of the Eternals.
Yeah, it's
over
tough.
there.
We'll leave those discussions on X.
Yeah.
Would you ever do those Jubilee 1-on-25s? Have you
yeah.
seen those?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Those are cool.
actually like
Yeah,
those
those
are
are cool.
kind
I
of
watched
fun.
Destiny, Charlie Kirk. What do you think of Charlie Kirk, actually?
I think he's terrible
You don't like him?
Yeah, he's terrible. He's like one of the fucking worst.
because he's really dishonest, and
Yeah.
I think he misleads people professionally.
Dishonest in what sense, though?
Like, I keep going back to the election thing because it's one of the most black and white issues.
he just
He
debates
was-
college
He's
kids.
perfectly fine convincing people of whatever Trump wants him to, and I think anyone who jumped
Well, no,
on
I don't
board
even
that
think it's that.
should be like, we shouldn't forget that because of how consequential it is. And again,
Yeah, the attention whore.
maybe this
Yeah.
feels less relevant to someone who was on like the beneficial end of that, since
I think
we're
I
never
found
going to do it
I
back
found
to
the
you and,
village.
like, have our
There's the
democracy
farmlands
collapse.
are right here.
But
there's
it's
also
really,
supposed
really
to be like,
destructive.
search
And
Frey,
you've seen
search
in, you
for
know, history,
Freythorn above the hunting
it is
grounds.
a part of the authoritarian
Above
project
the
to
hunting
convince
grounds.
people
I think I'm on
that
the right
elections
track.
aren't fair unless
I
your
found
side
it.
wins.
Look at
So
me
it's
go.
really, dangerous stuff.
Really? So that's happened in
I'm a
history?
winner.
I haven't looked into that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
understand. I honestly, like, for example, Trump also said,
Yeah, that's where I'm at, silent. Like, that's why I said, I'm like, I'm done trying to, like, fucking spend hours of my life trying to convince Trump supporters that, A, he's not the person they think he is, B, he's not going to do any of the crazy shit that they think he's going to do. Like, I'm done trying to convince the conspiracy left and conspiracy right that came together to form MAGA that Donald Trump is not anything like them. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about them. Donald Trump isn't going to do any of the things that are actually good for them. In fact, Donald Trump, for the most part, is going to run a pretty conservative agenda. Like, he's going to supposedly try to do his deporting thing, but the deporting thing's probably going to turn into a bunch of like court cases against like people like California or Colorado. I mean, it's good. Unless Donald Trump like upends democracy completely, it's going to be just like his other 4 years. It's going to be like the wall all over again. He's going to get 45 feet of the wall built. That's it. It's the same thing goes. He's probably going to deport like a certain amount of people, which is going to be probably fucking bullshit. It's probably going to be people that don't need to be deported, but it's going to be like the people he can get a hold of. There's going to be so many of those types of things. And the other option, obviously, is that he like completely upends democracy and says, "Oh, okay, so I don't need the Senate to do FBI background checks on my nominations." That's the kind of stuff that like you can't do, because if he does that, then the left does that, and if the left does that and he does that, then it becomes a thing, and now you start to have this like, eroding of democracy, where you just have back and forth. It's like the impeachment thing. They impeach Trump, so they try to impeach Biden. They try to impeach Biden, so now they're going to try to impeach Trump again. Like, anything that somebody does, they're just going to use it against the other side over and over again. And, I mean, I just... it takes too many fucking words, and Trump supporters just turn off. So it's like they're just gonna have to see it. They're just one of these people that have to touch the fire to tell that it's burnt. And to be honest with you, enough of them are sycophants that they will keep their hand in the flame, just like fucking roasting it as they smell their skin burning. And they'll be like, nope, it's good. Doesn't hurt at all. And that's what's kind of sad. Like there's like a couple things that like they could do well that wouldn't be like the worst fucking things. Like, I mean, looking into, like, the transparency of the government and spending and shit like that. Like, stay away from the VA. I don't like the idea of privatizing veterans' health care because it could bankrupt the system. And though it sounds good, like, the reality is that it should just be fucking single-payer health care, universal health care for everybody anyways. That's why CEOs out there getting shot. So it's, like, one of those things that's, like, as far as like the VA goes, like it could just be handled by giving universal health care to everybody. And that's what fucking needs to happen. And it seems like, you know, like the government transparency thing with fucking Elon and Vivek and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Jesus Christ. He picks like the dumbest people. If they wanted to look into like government spending in the military and they wanted to pull it back a little bit, like I would be fine with that. But now we're entering this stage where there's this potential gigantic fucking global conflict. And it's like, I don't know if now's the time to be fucking with the military budget. Like if we would have done this like 8 years ago, 12 years ago, yeah, I would have been down. But now all of a sudden, like we're like on the cusp of fucking World War III. And now you want to talk about the military budget? Like it's kind of insane. Canada doesn't make us look bad. We're okay, redonk, okay? Fucking Trump's out there trying to get Mexico and Canada to join up. I'll tell you this. If during Trump's presidency, Canada and Mexico join the United States, we cut government spending but do not sacrifice Social Security, Medicare. Blue states don't get fucked with as far as abortion laws go. That's like my best case scenario. Like if the economy doesn't fucking die from tariffs. If this works out to be the way that Trump's presidency go, if the tariffs are just him bluffing and none of these countries call his bluff and they give in and do whatever the fuck that he wants them to, okay, fine. But if he puts in tariffs, there's actually a really good study you should look up. It's a study on, he put a tariff on washing machines, right? I think Whirlpool came to him during his last presidency and said that like they were upset that Samsung and somebody else were importing washing machines for cheaper than they could sell them or they wanted to sell them. So they put a 20 or 30% tariff on washing machines that were being imported. Fun fact. Dryers, I don't believe were part of the actual tariffs, but they still brought the price up on dryers as well because of the fact that when you buy a washer dryer, it's usually the same price. So they just got over people that way. That's what these fucking corporations do every single goddamn time. But anyways, so you have a before period. I think it was done in 2018. So you have a before period, a during period, and an after period of the tariffs. And during the tariffs, I want to say that washer prices from other places, like the average washer went up like $74, I think, for the washer. So it was like 15 or 20%. And then went down immediately after the tariffs were gone again. So lower prices before, higher prices during, lower prices after. So like I said before, like the idea is that you're going to create jobs within America, but if we don't have infrastructure set up to create those jobs in America, tariffs are a bad idea. So like my opinion is best case scenario is he really is bluffing. He's not actually going to use tariffs because if he does actually institute tariffs on all these countries, Canada, Mexico, China, our allies respond by putting tariffs on us. Then you have Elon talking about slashing fucking government programs for like people that are like on SNAP and stuff like that. That is a recipe for fucking disaster. Like, in my opinion, if the best case scenario could be, for me, the tariffs are bullshit, he's just bluffing. Doge turns into something where they actually like go after some military budgets, and there isn't a huge World War III that happens, and they don't cut Medicare, they don't cut Social Security, they don't fuck with SNAP benefits, and they cut some stupid fucking government experiment money that they had. The deportation thing, like, I don't think any of it's good, but I do think that most states that have really important undocumented workers, like California does, like, they'll fight back against it. So best case scenario, once again, I think that, like, those people won't get deported. And then 4 years later, we just clean up whatever the fucking left of the mess. I don't agree 100% with that they work for Putin. I just think that Trump is not smart enough to understand he's doing what Putin wants him to do. Like, I don't always buy into the, like, Trump was bought and paid for by Putin, because this is my problem with that. This is the same argument I use against conspiracy theorists when they say things like Biden and Fauci are harming people with vaccines and all this stuff. It's like, they have family that live here. So unless Trump is, like, going to move to Russia, like, I can see Trump getting played by Putin, like Putin being like, if you help me out, I make you king for life, and then he's just like, fuck you over. Maybe something like that. But I genuinely believe that Trump is just too narcissistic, too much hubris to understand that he's literally doing everything that Putin wants him to do. Like his dumb shit with the Ukraine war, where he's like, oh, we need to have a ceasefire and we're going to not allow them to join NATO. Like, Ukraine's only reason to have a ceasefire, they have two reasons. One, they're going to get completely and utterly annihilated without any help from America. Two, they get involved in NATO. So if they're allowed in NATO, they possibly give up some of the annexed areas and then try to get them back later. Or we pull out and we just let Ukraine get just like absolutely massacred. And unfortunately, that's probably the more likely thing to happen. Is Trump is probably going to say, no, they shouldn't be allowed into NATO. We're not gonna help out with that. And also, if you don't take this bargain, then we're just gonna let Putin roll right over you and take Ukraine from you. Like that's the sad part about that kind of shit. They're gonna steal the Social Security. That I don't doubt, because that's what fucking rich people do. Trump and those around him. Yeah, once again, that's another thing. Is like you bring into account like the people that are around Trump, and that's when you like grow concerned about like what could happen, right? Once again, it's much scarier. So Trump is a narcissist. He's very, high on his own intellect. He's got a lot of flaws and weaknesses that people like Putin can exploit because he's just too fucking stupid to know. He's Dunning-Kruger in effect, right? Like super confident about the shit he doesn't know anything about. But the people underneath him are like way scarier because those people are still jockeying for a position. Those people are still, they have every reason to sell out, like even their own family members, to get some type of placement higher up in the hierarchy. Like if you think about things like what somebody like Elon Musk or a Vivek Ramaswamy or a Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tulsi Gabbard, any of those people could do to get like, the promises of like potentially one day being like the president of the United States or the king of the United States. Like that's more, yeah, that's what I would be worried about. You think the Ukraine war is going to stop? I don't think they have a chance. I don't think they have a choice. I don't think Ukraine gets a choice in this, not with Trump being president. Like I said, where they're at now is, I believe, Ukraine is fucked. I mean, unless other countries are going to step up and provide any type of like aid for them, like to make up for the whatever aid America was giving, which is really hard for most other countries. I don't see any way that Ukraine can continue to be in this war without America's help. So I don't think they have a choice. I don't think it's not going to be because Trump like brokered some kind of peace deal. It's going to be because Trump said, I'm not going to give you any money anymore. And if I don't give you any money, then Putin just murders all your people. So you might as well come to the table. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, in my opinion. I mean, obviously I could be wrong, but that's what I believe is going to happen. I mean, it's the same thing with, I think it's really funny that everybody was like, see, like Hamas has already stopped, and then like a day later they're like, no, we didn't. Like all the people that were like, you remember that when Trump was first elected, everybody was sharing that Newsweek story. They're like, look, Trump already stopped the war in Gaza. Yeah, I like how Trump supporters too can share shit like that. They're like, he stopped the war in Gaza, and then like a week later when he actually didn't, they don't follow that shit up. They're not like, oh, it turns out we were wrong. They just like act like shit never happened. They're just like, so anyways, we're gonna talk about some other stuff now. The UK is providing aid. The UK is providing aid. I think Germany, France. So other countries are providing aid, but America does provide the largest amount of aid. I mean, we are the #1 military in the world. We are the most advanced military in the world. We have the most advanced fighting corps in the world. We also have the firepower to back up any kind of threat against us. So when Putin says stuff like, well, if they attack us with these long-range missiles, then we'll do this or we'll do that. Remember that? Remember when he made all that hubbub about what he was going to do if they shot missiles into Russia? What did he do? He shot one missile back, okay? And then fucking he murdered fucking Ukrainians. That's what Putin is capable of doing. America can back up anything that they do as far as giving weapons to Putin, or I'm sorry, to Ukraine. And like the UK and stuff like that, they can't do that without America. Like they can't do those things without America. America is the supporting cast to every one of these militaries being able to support Ukraine. So that's the main fucking problem. It's not cash though. It's weapons. Like that's what I keep telling you, dipshits. It's not fucking cash, redonk. You can't do anything with cash. Like, God damn it. They're sending my tax money over there. They're not sending money. You fucking can't fight Putin by throwing dollar bills at him like a fucking stripper. It's military equipment. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're fucking killing me. Killing me, Smalls. That's it. I gotta take out my anger with my hammer. Fucking taking out my anger with a hammer. Dude, I was reading about Elvis today. That was scary. And just like everybody with their like, God, this is why I can't do politics anymore. I'm like your fucking arguments just destroy my brain. Like that doesn't even make sense. You can't fight with money. Now imagine if they would just like fucking go get some mercenaries. That's what I'm down with. If they used my money to like fucking employ some like dope ass like crazy mercenaries from like Asia or something like that. Like what was that in the 300? The fucking guys that didn't take off their masks. If Ukraine used our money to employ the immortals from 300, I would be totally down with that. I'm just gonna say that right now. As long as they all wear GoPros. I'm sending nickels. That's the way to look. If you sent over rolls of quarters, that would do well, right? Because they could use them as punch packs. They could throw them at them. Okay, like those things. That's how you give money to people to help them in war. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, here we go. Okay, we know where we're going. We're back on the horse, boys. I'm on my pony. I don't have a pony, just so you guys know. Oh, there's a pony. Look, what is this? It's paper mache. Look at this stuff. What is this guy? What the fuck is this? I am like marauding somebody's whole culture. Like, what did these people even do? What did they do for me and my hammer just to come up in their house and just start fucking... What am I don't even know what my quest is. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just like needlessly murdering like natives. Like just fucking came in here with my new abilities and my sweet new gear. I don't even know what my quest is. I don't know why I'm here. I haven't read a single thing anybody has said to me. Oh, Jesus. This is what America does to us, guys. Turns us into heartless killers. I haven't even used my cool new fire ability. Here we go. Boom! And this is America in a nutshell. We're like, but it makes the boom sound. We gotta use it. It's like when we drop the fucking atomic bombs. It's like, well, we dropped one. Might as well drop a second. Jesus Christ. We got some baskets. I'm over here like stealing their baskets and shit. Next thing you know, I'm gonna fucking put a casino on their land. Jesus Christ. It's fucking... I think this guy isn't a white guy, actually. I was gonna say the goddamn colonizing white man. This channel is going to be nothing but me making fun of right-wing people but playing video games. That's what's going to happen. That's what this channel from this point is going to be. Me making obscure political jokes about right-wingers while playing games and talking about colonizers. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was bad, though. Another one. Boom. Another one. You guys want more? Oh, I'm fucking in a quarter. Oh, no. Oh, one of these. Boom. Boom. Oh, those are good ones. Those are good ones. Oh, yeah, we're out of the corner. We fought our way out. We fought our way out. Are they raising people? Stop raising people. What the hell? Okay. All right, we're back. We're back. Druid folk. I don't even know who they are. Why do I sound like a Georgian? My accents go in and out, right? I can't control them. I'm like that dude from Split. Like, I don't even know the accents I'm doing while I'm doing them until you guys call me out for it. You're like, that was racist against white Southerners. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I had no idea. The trailer park came out of me. Oh, what the? Bro! Stand still. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, take a hammer to the face. Oh, Rage Knife. That's a stupid name. That's not even... Oh, I don't have any potions? Oh, Jesus. Rage Knife, the fucking taser face over here. Rage Knife. Who gave you that name? Your mom? Okay, here we go. All right. Dodging. No more shield. Shield down. Shield down. We're going back to when I used to play Overwatch. Shield down. One hit. And that's exactly what one hit looks like, too. He's one. 6 hits later. Every time someone mimics a right winger, they sound like Tennessee Brando. Poor Tennessee Brando, dude. Like, he probably has to explain all the time that he's not a Trump supporter. He's probably like, so anyway, and they're like, oh, what's up? You voted for Trump? He's like, no. What? Why? Why are you saying I voted for Trump? It's okay, Tennessee. I get it, too. It's because I'm a bald white man. Bald white man, they're like, yeah, this guy definitely voted for Trump. Fucking colonizer. Hold on. I don't even know what... Like, look at this. I don't even look at my loot. Like, we've really got to... Like, I thought games were supposed to be woke nowadays. Okay? This is not very woke. Okay? I don't even... Like, I go into their village. I murder their inhabitants. I take their loots. I don't even look at them. And then I don't use them. I literally take their loots. I go back to my village. Okay? And then I just give them to this chick. Why are we glitching? I just give them to her. I'm like, I don't even want these. Can you have them? Like, I make like $47 off of them. $47. Like, maybe. Let's see how much money we're going to even make off one of these. Ooh, that's a nice bow. 6 gold! I just murdered like a whole village of people for some boots that are worth 6 gold. This society is out of control. I say we cancel this company. I'm finally becoming a real hardcore left-wing progressive. I am finding my spot. I'm over here going like, can you disenchant this for me? I don't even need this anymore. Can you just go ahead? I murdered like women and children, shamans and druids. Also, I could just bring it back and get 2 of these items. Not even good. Like, I'm just using them to grind levels. Okay, we're going to keep this bow, though. This bow's pretty dope. The bow stays. Oh, wait. We need to put that away, too. Look at how organized I am. I bet you guys don't have loot stashes that are this organized. I've become a CEO. Now I need to buy a hat. Thanks, Talia. I'm enjoying the gaming as well. Like I said, this is a good way for me to be able to not like just rant about society for a while. Like, my problem nowadays with watching this stuff now is because there's not like a ton of like crazy Trump supporters openly talking about the things they believe anymore, except for that Isabella Moody chick. God bless her heart for being like the one Trump supporter that's still stupid enough to talk about the dumb shit they believe. So there's not a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So instead I just watch real world problems and like fucking go, okay, well this is terrible. And then I rant about them. So, oh, level up. I told you I'm grinding off their population. Look, I'm killing their pets. I'm like, oh, here's your children. Oh, take that, small guy. Look, they're throwing pottery at me. No, those are skulls. Those are skulls. Just really not. This is not kosher. This is exactly. I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this. Okay? This is the world that Trump supporters want, where you can just go into people's villages and beat them with hammers and nobody cares. Kill their scorpion pets. Look at what is this guy down here? You okay? He's not even fighting me. Look at this guy. What the fuck is he? Is he a crab? Bro, what's in your hands? Whoa! Whoa! Ho! What's going on? Time out! I was fucking looking at the crab! I come in peace! Jesus Christ. Cultist witch. That's redundant. That's redundant, guys. Oh! Fucking nice dodge. Solid. Solid dodge. Solid. Down. Man down. Man down. Alright, we're good. Woo! Killed half this village. Look at a little fucking... Is that a cockroach? They got roaches. This motherfucker's got roaches. Look at all those roaches! Holy shit! They need an exterminator. This is like my childhood. This is bringing back memory. I'm about to have PTSD. Roaches coming out the cereal box and shit. We got a sweet-ass shield. Nice shield. Okay, alright. That's sweet. We're good on those. Alright. Wait, I leveled up. I got points. Alright. What do we got here? Skill effect duration. More strength. 3% skill speed. I think I need this for that earthquake thing to go faster, right? I don't know. Oh, wait. What is this? Oh, I can do different weapons? What is a weapon set? Dude, I have no idea what I'm doing. We're going skill speed. I don't even know if that's good or not. Dude, did you get Doncron? I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it. Who won? Who won? Tell me the Bengals won, Doncron. Tell me the Bengals won and Jamar Chase had like 47 fucking points. I'm in the playoffs. It doesn't matter, but I still want to win by as many points as I possibly can. We're going to the playoff, boys. We were 0-4 this season. We started the season 0-4, boys. And just so you know, boys is an ambiguous term for me, okay? When I say boys, I mean everybody. Like my boys. 0-4 to start the season. Won 8 straight. 14 receptions for Chase. That's what I'm talking about. We need to stay hot going into the playoffs. Okay? We won 8 straight. We went 8-4, lost a game, won our last game, finished the season 9-5 in 3rd place. So playoffs start next week. But I think we're playing the team that has the most points in the league. I think I had like 3rd most points in the league. So we're going to have to hope for a real bad game for him. Bad game next week. I like how I'm like flashing out the map. I'm like, I got to make sure I murder everybody in this village. Don't want to leave anybody alive. They might have had loot. This is what we're teaching our young people. 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, hold on. Did you say the Bengals won? Because I still want the Bengals to win because it doesn't matter to me that the Cowboys really have no chance at making the playoffs right now. Like, I just need them to still lose every game. That's how petty I am. I am so petty that I am at the point where I know that the Cowboys are having like quite possibly the worst season that they've had in like years. And I'm still like, I hope they lose every single game to end the year. Sorry, Cowboys fans. That's what you get though. That's what you get for being... Look, you sign a social contract when you become a Cowboys fan. And that social... Why am I doing no damage to this guy? And that is that you know everybody hates you. That's just the way it is. Oh, there we go. There's some damage. Oh, big damage. Big damage. Oh. We got a wax jacket, guys. I don't... Why is the jacket waxed? I guess that makes it waterproof. My immersion. Cowboys blocked a punt with 1 minute left, 20-20. No way. Dude, the Bengals. The poor Bengals, man. Ah, my buddy's from Cincinnati. My buddy's probably like dying right now. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Oh, what's going on? Hold on, guys. I just touched the totem. The totem. I don't know why you guys are all so mad. I touched your totem. I like it when people touch my totem. Oh, yeah, take one of those. Take one of those. Oh. I keep forgetting to use my other abilities. I only use, like, the one ability. There's that. Okay, that one's dead. We got one left. Boom. Boom. Man down. Big win. No whammies. No. Don Kron. You didn't tell me the Bengals. Dude, I can't take the suspense, Don Kron. This is better than watching the football game. Letting Don Kron narrate the last 2 minutes for me is better than watching the game. What's happening, Tia? Tia, I want you to know, I have not been on Instagram for a minute. But I will go on and look at all the stuff you send me because the stuff you send me is amazing. I have been on a social media hiatus, which just means I have not been able to actually look at it because I've been playing this game. Like I have choices that I have to make. In my life, I can do one of two things. I can look at Instagram for like 15 minutes or I can play this game, and I've been choosing to play this game. So don't judge me. Because look at me. I mean, I'm out here. I'm fucking taking over villages. I don't know why. I feel kind of asshole-ish about it, but I mean, it seems that they have oil. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Puckering. We're puckering. Oh, big shot. Home run. Bengals recover, getting another chance. 40-yard TD to Chase, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, now I feel better. Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go again. Oh, freaking out. Oh, Jesus. That's not good. Down the stairs, buddy. Down the stairs. Okay, we're okay. We're not okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, whack. Whammy. Oh, get out of there. Okay, you're okay. Whammy. Oh, we got dodge. We're dodging. Big earthquake. Boom. Okay. Wham. Rolling slam. Another one coming in. Oh, fuck. Oh, blue guy down. Oh, no, get away from the purple. Good job. Whoa. What is up with all the purple? Why am I getting leashed by purple stuff? No! Okay, we're okay. I might have freaked out a little bit there. Another big whammy. Oh, fucking, I don't like the ice. Oh, we gotta use our other abilities? Okay, we did. Oh, yeah. Somehow we got out of that. We did it. I don't know what we did. I still don't know why I'm even here right now. Just following my quest markers. Destroying societies for no reason other than to level up. That's what I'm here for. Where are we at here? Cultist Brute. Oh, yeah, we had a video we were watching. I forgot. Luke Beasley. Look at Luke Beasley just down there watching me play video games. Luke Beasley looks like he's by himself. Just like down there, just sitting on the couch by himself. I forgot what Luke was even talking about.
The government should come down hard on
about?
MSNBC in a Truth Social post.
Wait. Don, you're not done? Micah Parsons was pacing the sideline and immediately left the field ready to murder someone. Well, let's hope he finds a healthcare CEO. I laugh at my own jokes. That's the one that gets me banned from YouTube right there. That's it. That's the one. If my channel is not here tomorrow, guys, that was the one. You know, my last video got demonetized because all this shit I talked. You know, YouTube took my $3.50. YouTube took my $3.50 because I made fun of the CEO. That's how petty YouTube is. YouTube was like, we're going to have to just go ahead and take that money from you. That was not cool. Fucking sorry, YouTube. Fucking, that's what I get for talking about billionaires, though. I probably shouldn't be on a billionaire's platform talking shit about billionaires. This also could be my downfall. This could be it. Dude, if Micah Parsons would just come play for Philadelphia,
media outlets, criminals,
dude,
and now he's suing CBS.
it'd be so amazing.
And
it'd be
there's a few
so
of these phrases.
amazing.
The termination of the Constitution one, the government should come down hard.
Gotta make sure I didn't accidentally.
The act of trying to assemble.
They are
illegal
AI, but that's what
electors,
scares me.
That I don't see how people just go, okay, cool.
That's
If
how I
he'd
got
gotten his
banned the
way,
first
would have
time.
gotten a
I was
second
like,
term,
dude, I
even though
didn't
he
do anything
lost. That's
wrong.
not
And then I was like, oh, the AI
that would
got
have
me.
been just
Dude, where'd my shield go?
collapsing.
Hello?
But because
Oh,
it didn't
purple
happen
stuff.
barely, because a few people who won't be there this time
Big
said we
swing,
won't do it,
whammy.
I'm gonna pretend like that never happened.
Are you going to go to the inauguration? I know you've been to some Trump rallies.
Dude, I want to see Luke Beasley go to the inauguration.
I guess we'll be in DC still.
Dude,
so
do
we
it,
could
content
yeah,
for
we'll
you,
be
right?
close.
Do
Yeah,
it.
talk to people, debate people.
You were at the rally. He
Make
got
me
shot
some
at, right?
content,
Yeah.
bro.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
you heard everything? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It was wild. Yeah, really scary.
That is nuts. What are the chances of that? Do you go to a bunch of rallies normally?
We've stopped recently.
After people
because
started
everything
shooting at
else
Well,
was
people.
it ended, yeah.
Yeah, you think
Well, I
so?
even mean like the final lead up to the election, it was just more. I enjoyed more just covering the rally from afar on the channel, and that was getting a lot of interest and stuff. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
fine.
remember to use my
But for a long
light.
time, we went to
There's
so
the
many
light.
that
There we go.
statistically it makes sense.
We
that I
did
was
something.
there.
We did
How are
something.
you going to pivot your content
Boom.
now that the election's over, I guess?
Coming in hot. Coming in hot.
You know,
Boom.
it's
Swinging?
probably not going to change a ton.
I don't know what buttons I'm pushing.
I was thinking we had prepared more for Vice President Harris.
What is up with the
and
little
what I was
crab
really
guy?
excited
Look at the
for
little crab guy. Is he
was
giving me a curse?
doing a show.
He's giving
that
me
wasn't
crabs.
So oppositional.
What a
you know?
dick.
And getting to dive more into the nuances of all right, which
whammy.
Democrat, like whenever Biden his first 2 years had the House and Senate, a lot of the discussion right when I started my
how
show
much more of this do I
was
have
about
to do?
what are like Manchin and Cinema doing to block the really good items in his agenda that I was excited about, and those discussions. they're
Yeah,
not
now
gonna
Joe
generate the
Manchin
same
gets to be
views,
an
but I was
asshole to Trump.
Totally ready for that.
Joe Manchin and Kristen
But now
Sinema
that
have
Trump
the
has
best
won,
job in
while I
politics.
hope
They're
he's
just
not
an asshole
bad,
to
we already have
whoever is in
early
office
signs
at the
that He's
time.
gonna be about how I warned people he would be. So it is going to be a
Fucking,
lot of
like
the same
they're
type
not
of content I've been
libertarians,
doing,
but
which
somehow
is,
they're doing
here's what
libertarians'
Trump
jobs.
is up to.
Because
Here's
libertarians
what,
won't do their
the
own
MAGA
job because
allies
they
are
don't
up
like
to,
doing
Here's
jobs.
why I'm against it. And then a big thing in terms of I'm always doing this, but to call it a pivot, I guess is fair. I want to direct people more toward what my type of left of center politics are, because we divide our political discussions into right and left, and that's so oversimplified. I mean,
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
people on the right you'd think are
I
terrible.
agree with
tons of
that.
people on the left I think are terrible. And so I want to get better
That's
at
kinda
establishing
cool.
for people very clearly what it is that I think
It would be
makes
cool to
the
see
movement I want to be a part of.
more of these young guys, and that's something I think that can't be overstated, is that the people that are involved in a lot of this political content, there's a lot of young dudes. Parker and Dean, Adam Mockler, Luke Beasley. I mean, even Destiny's not that old. Neither has Sasan. I mean, all of them are like 10 years younger than me. Like, there's a lot of young people that are getting involved in this. So it is going to be interesting to see like where they go with this kind of stuff and see if what they make of it.
Well, very clearly what it is that I think makes the movement I want to
How do I
be
get,
a part
okay,
of.
I'm trying to move.
Gabapentin is bringing you closer
stop
to
it.
amputation.
What?
These are 3 symptoms that are signaling that you could be close to losing.
No, dude, I don't want to lose my
itself, like,
limbs.
makes
Specifically, not my
movement
thumbs.
I want to
That's how I'm
be a
playing
part
this
of
game. Currently playing this game with my
itself,
thumbs.
like what characterizes it and what distinguishes it. Of course, it's clear what distinguishes it from
there we go.
MAGA, but what
Boom.
distinguishes it from sort
Earthquake.
of your right smack dab in the
Dude,
center.
fucking go
and
off,
your
Earthquake.
further left
Jesus
than me,
Christ, it takes like an
and
hour.
how we can then mobilize those people
It's like
who
the
agree
worst
with my
ability.
views to implement change. A big goal of mine is to not just talk about politics, and we're working right now.
Fucking, I
to
should have
figure out
named
how
this
on
guy
the ground
John
we can
Henry.
actually
I
engage
missed
in-
my
in
chance.
voter outreach efforts.
I had no idea I was
and
gonna use a
mobilize my
hammer, though.
audience to do so. So that at least next time,
Hindsight's
however the
20/20.
election goes, we don't
Boom.
feel like
Good
there
job.
were things
We're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that loot.
we could have been doing.
We don't need all the white.
more.
I like that. Yeah, left versus right is way too oversimplified.
Yeah.
Where would you put yourself on a chart
What the
of
fuck
like
was I supposed
far
to do?
left, far right? Like,
It's tough because it
I guess I could read the
depends
quest.
on
Search
what we're
for
talking
ritual
about.
altars
Okay.
and
For
cleanse
example,
them. I already did that.
Some people would characterize
I've been
universal
cleansing.
health care as
Been
far
cleansing
left,
the village.
even though every industrialized country has it. I don't
Leaving
find
white
that
stuff
super
all
far
over the
left.
place, though.
But then you also have the
what she
spectrum
said.
of how where you are and like cultural issues and so I would say that in a really
Cleanse that
oversimplified
one.
way, I'm probably like center,
Ooh, baskets.
far left's over here, and then I'm like just left
Nothing
of
in the
center.
baskets.
Okay. So in between center and far left.
Yeah.
So that's where I am on the right. I just took a test actually.
Yeah.
There's this really cool test. We'll put it in the description.
Everybody
But I
already knows
didn't vote
about
this
this test,
election
bro.
actually.
It's nothing new. What?
Wow, that's crazy.
I've never voted.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
This time around, I wanted to, but
Look at this fucking guy. No way. This guy never voted. No, this guy right here. That guy didn't vote. No way. Oh my god. This dude is like the personification. If you had to ask me what an insufferable asshole that says things like, I didn't vote this year. I've never voted, but I have a lot of political opinions. I have all the opinions on politics. I don't vote, though. That's the guy. That's the guy I would expect him to look like. Legs crossed, glasses, taking notes, with that haircut that, like, every kid has that haircut now. Like, it's a mop. It's just a mop on their head. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just jealous. It's a lot of hair. That's the dude, though. That's exactly what I'd tell you that dude looked like.
Nevada, you had to like go to
Nevada?
a specific spot. Even with the mailings, you had to go to a specific spot. So I was just, honestly, I was lazy.
Jesus Christ.
You would have voted for Trump?
I would have.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
You think that's crazy?
Sean.
Why do you think that's crazy? I grew up Democrat. I grew up in New Jersey. My parents voted for Obama.
Dude.
Yeah, they're so disappointed in you.
I don't want to put my mom on the spot, but like,
That's
you know,
hilarious.
No, I find it crazy
Okay,
because
take
again,
that. Then we're
I
gonna
don't.
give you one of those.
This is
and
my
then we're
point
gonna
too. There are
roll.
some people
We're gonna roll
who,
around until
if you're
Earthquake
not
goes
exactly
off.
where they are,
Boom.
you're terrible, right? You're the enemy. That's not how I think.
You're the enemy.
There
Oh,
are a
he
lot of
doesn't think that
people.
way. Okay.
You sort of
okay.
saw sort of the Liz Cheney,
Boom,
Vice
whammy.
President Harris
Okay, we're okay.
alliance that demonstrated
Earthquake again.
politics is about disagreeing.
Fiery,
on policy.
fiery.
That's fine. It's totally fine. When it gets to the
Rolling
foundational
slam.
stuff, it's not
Big.
a matter
There you
of are
go.
we just ideologically different.
Another
and we
one.
can totally
Oh,
still engage on
give him
democratic
another
process.
one.
Because the
That's
foundation
nice.
is our democratic process.
Oh.
And so Trump
Oh,
threatening
oh.
that,
Oh, Jesus.
as I keep
Okay,
coming
we're
back
okay.
to, is
We're gonna drop our fiery
inexcusable.
thing again.
And I wish
I don't
more
know the name
people
of
who
that.
were
slam.
committed
Oh,
to our
look at that.
constitutional
Got out of that.
process would value that more
Oh.
and say, okay, however
Uh-oh.
I feel about Harris's proposal
Boss
on
time.
enhanced
I'm
child
not ready
tax
for a
credit
boss
or
time. I used my health
building
potions.
more housing,
Oh,
whatever.
I still got health potions. I'm okay.
I still
Look at- you
understand that
can't even
she's the
hit
only
me.
one who has
Yeah.
a for the termination of the Constitution.
fair enough. But can you
Oh.
agree that the left is not what
Oh.
it used to be from
Oh,
when we
he's
were
coming
growing
after
up?
me now.
That has changed.
Always, yeah. There's been a bunch of shifts.
Because I feel like I haven't changed that much since I was a kid.
Yeah, but I think a lot of what you define the left as doesn't represent the people
Yeah.
in power.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is something a lot of people get confused about. Online, engagement
we've only got
sells.
3 potions
And
left,
so,
though. We've got
on both the
stuff.
right and the
We
left,
gotta
a
win.
lot of times
Here we go.
extremism
He's
is
shooting purple stuff at
overrepresented.
me. We're okay,
So then
though.
how do we know? Okay, well, we could just both
We
be
got our shield up.
strawmanning each other constantly.
Boom. Okay.
Well,
Where'd he go?
I
Where'd he
say
go?
look to
I hit
people
him
who
so hard
actually
he
have
went
their
through the
hands in power,
floor.
'cause then you see
hit him
who's
so
relevant
hard, he
with
went
our
through the
political
floor.
discourse and who
He
represents
said,
enough
"I'm gonna
people
leave.
that
I
they
don't
were
want
able
any
to
of
be
this
voted into
warrior."
power. And so
Oh,
what
hold
you
on.
see when
Right
you do
there.
that
Boom.
comparison is Biden,
Fiery
for
stuff.
example, governed
Big hit.
in some
Boom.
ways pretty
Rolling away.
progressively, but I would
Roll.
say in a way that a lot of
Shield
people
back
find
up. Shield's
common
back
sense
up.
if they
We're
don't
going
into
back
the
in.
policy of it. I don't think most
Another
people have an
earthquake.
issue with his infrastructure bill. If you combine his
Can't see him.
infrastructure bill and his Inflation Reduction Act, it's adding zero net to the
Oh yeah,
to
get
the
out of
deficit.
there. Get out of there, buddy.
You have
Get out of there.
all these initiatives to both
Oh,
boost
stop
energy
fucking
production
disappearing,
while
dude.
also
That's
pushing
cheating.
forward the
Stop
green
it.
energy initiatives, but not doing so in a way that will jolt us. We're obviously
Stop cheating.
producing record oil still.
Oh, damn
under
it.
Biden.
Okay, we're gonna have to use a
and
potion.
The crime plummet
trouble.
as a product of certain
Oh wait,
investments
Big
and the
stun.
macro
Boom.
trends, of course.
Big stun.
The
Hit him.
PACT
Hit him.
Act,
Hit him.
veterans benefits. You know, like his governance hasn't been super controversial, but Fox News would just
Oh,
collapse
rolling.
if they admitted that.
Oh,
they
he
have to
fucking got away.
Stimulate a lot of things about this random TikToker who
Okay, that
said
hurts.
this about some trans issue. That's
need our shield
what
to come back up?
Biden's up to today.
We've only got 2 potions left, guys.
And so
We could be in trouble.
you would say, well, how do you know that's not
We
the
could
same
be in
thing
trouble.
going on to the right? In a sense, it is.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Like if anyone has ever said all Republicans are Nazis, they're probably consumed by
Oh, we're out.
unrepresentative
Okay.
extremist
I think we can-
examples.
we can
because
win
all
this.
Republicans
We can win
obviously
this.
Aren't a very small percentage.
Oh, big one.
Would be.
Where'd he go?
But the person in the highest position of power is
Oh, dude, what is he doing
the
to me?
extremist
None
I'm
of that.
talking
That's
about.
cheating.
Or Marjorie Taylor Greene
cheating.
is the extremist I'm
Oh,
talking
what the
about.
fuck?
And So right now there's an extremism problem on both sides.
What
but
was
extremism
that?
is making it disproportionately into positions of power in the Republican Party compared to the Democratic Party.
What just
They
happened?
did place a lot of spotlight
I
on the
was, like,
trans issues this
across the
election, I noticed,
screen.
especially in Cali, right? There was some bill passed there with trans kids in
What
school.
kind of bullshit was that?
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a provocative one for people. I don't like invalidating people's feelings in general.
Really enjoying these streams when you play the talk
even though I
about
do it a
news
lot.
though. Sweet.
But even though they're wrong about the
Thanks,
economy,
Danny.
wrong
Maybe we'll
about
do it
price.
more often.
But
Later,
I
Redon.
would warn
Thanks,
them that
buddy.
that's definitely one that's blown out of proportion.
Fall asleep in the chair. We're old men, dude.
Great.
Play some golf with friends on stream. We'll do it.
AI marketing tools to help
We'll play different games.
businesses
We'll play
easily
different
reach-
games. So yeah, we'll play some
Like,
play with golf
people
on
are
stream.
convinced that that's a
play
more
with-
relevant
play golf
issue
with
to their life
friends
than
on
things that are
stream.
so much more relevant.
All right, we're gonna try that
like
again because
structural
that was
economic
some
things,
BS.
and democratic things.
I don't
But
know what
on
happened
it,
there.
I think also that's another one Democrats should have better messaging on. Again, the nuance
What
makes
was
it
that?
a more complicated bumper sticker. But
What was the move?
We
I
can
don't
both
even know what the move
respect
was.
people's
Oh, I have to do
rights
all of this
and love people
Okay, fine.
and support people's identities while also not being perceived as too extreme on issues like the trans sports issue.
Go off.
I never let
Earthquake.
politics get in the way of
Jesus
business.
Christ.
Okay.
I send a lot of business to liberals,
go.
to Democrats. It doesn't matter to
There you
me.
go.
Do you let it affect your business?
My
What?
business
Dude,
is
get off me,
politics.
bro.
Let me see. Do you mean
Like, would you
don't go to a
would
store?
you enter a business partnership if someone was a conservative? 50-50 partnership.
Oh, it totally depends. On like
Yeah,
what
it depends on what kind of conservative
If
you're
they
talking
wanted
about.
to help with our show, no.
Okay, so if it relates to your political business, then no.
Yeah, because one of the things
All right.
that makes, we have the guys that work
All right,
for
we
the show
still
in
have
the room
7.
with us, and
Oh.
one of the things that makes it so
Dude,
worthwhile
God
is we
damn
all
it. You
believe
gotta
in
be
what we're
kidding me.
working on.
Okay.
The mission really fuels
Okay,
us.
it's fine. It's
Because
fine.
like the lead up to
It's
the
fine.
election, it was
No.
the wee hours of the morning to the
Stop
wee
it.
hours of the morning.
Get off
Just,
me.
Right, you're with them all day.
It was brutal.
Okay, fine. We're
And
just gonna
what
fucking
makes
do this
that
shit then.
doable is really
Take that to
believing
the
that this
face.
is worthwhile and that it matters.
Okay.
So if I had someone who
Oh,
was
dude, you've got a friend.
managing
cheating?
the business
Cheating?
stuff but didn't believe in the mission of it, I think it would make it less worthwhile for them and
Killing
me
your
as
friend?
well. But then on
Oh,
a lot of
there you
things, I
go.
have a lot of conservatives.
Oh,
I grew up in Texas, so a
moving?
lot of conservatives
Oh.
in my family, and
Oh.
that
Oh.
doesn't at all get in the way of our family relationship.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
So no arguments at the Thanksgiving dinner table?
No, and well, some arguments, but no. Since I started doing this as a job, people really avoid talking about it.
I bet.
Because most people are just sort of going through their
Dude,
life.
I don't
and
know
a
what
few
he's doing,
things
I'm
that are on their
scared.
mind, but if they bring it up, I'm gonna be like, I have all these things that I've been thinking about all day that I want to barf at you. So they bring it up less, but I've gotten better.
Oh, here we go,
too,
big
at
hit.
Not showing
Boom.
that in people's faces unless they want it to be.
Oh, what the
But
fuck?
I also, it's
There,
interesting. Like
down.
when
Okay.
the first type of content that I got into
Here we go, big
doing
one.
was going to Trump rallies and interviewing people.
Another big one?
And then even with the
Oh, yeah,
interviews
well,
I've
those are
done with
good.
Trump
Those are good.
supporters, like in studios and stuff,
Oh,
I really find a lot of their views just reprehensible. But I also see that it's not a product of them, being evil or something.
Whoa,
So it's
what are those
interesting. I
things?
wish people could see.
I don't know what they are.
And
I don't
and
like
we film
it.
this sometimes,
I'm
but
leaving.
how we'll be debating. And it's not that there's like
Oh,
a
no, what's
genuine to
going on?
non-genuine switch
What is
going on with
going-
the
oh,
cameras.
okay, I'm
but it's just
fine.
once you're no longer
Okay.
talking about politics, then I'm walking to them, out of the studio, and it's
Oh,
just
can I?
like-
Can
you're friendly,
just
right?
like
Can I
a
break
really
that thing?
pleasant person,
Yeah.
how
Yeah, I
you
can,
and I would
okay.
be. And I,
right, we're
I
figuring
hope
things out.
more people can do that.
Damn
But I
it.
see why on certain issues it feels like
We're gonna drop an earthquake
a
over
line
there
that
and see
can't
if
be
that breaks
crossed.
it.
I see that. No, Ben
the
Shapiro has the
earthquake break
same
it?
view. I saw him on
No, it did- yeah, it does,
George
okay.
Shanko's podcast, and he was saying how within his media
Uh-oh.
company, they have to share a certain view. That's why he axed Candace
Yeah.
Owens.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Yeah. And it really does.
Oh, big hits.
Because otherwise,
Oh, where'd he go?
the daily work can just. I don't want it to feel like just a 9 to 5.
Oh, there we
it
go.
feeling like
Those
a
are big
mission
hits.
and a passion makes it all.
What is
the
he
9 to
doing?
5
Oh,
feeling.
whoa! What is
Yeah,
going on
I
here?
can totally understand that.
I don't like
well,
that.
Luke, it's been cool, man. I can't wait
Oh.
to do a part 2 with you one day. Where can people find you?
Oh, what
Luke
the
Bees
hell?
on YouTube.
Perfect.
And
We'll
then
link it below.
Hold on.
explicit podcast
Hold
listeners,
on.
not explicit, but
God
specifically
damn
podcast
it.
listeners, we also have.
What is this shit? What is this shit? He's got another. I've only got 2 potions left, dog. I was using my potions like I was using it like he had 1 health bar. I didn't assume he had another life. He's fucking got people all up in his hair and shit up top. What the fuck? Okay, it's okay. It's all right. Let's find another video to watch while we're doing this, because I'm probably going to be here for a while fighting this guy. Oh, here you go. Let's watch the Humanist Report on Ben Shapiro.
I'm Patrick Stewart.
They were talking about Ben Shapiro. We'll watch Ben Shapiro. Hello, Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart. Oh, we're in top chat.
Something is happening in this country that I did not think was even possible. Americans are waking up and finally becoming class conscious. And the propaganda that once suppressed this awakening for years and kept them in line has failed at a critical point in time. Now, to show you what I mean, we're going to talk about conservative commentator Ben Shapiro and the way that he discussed the assassination of the United Health CEO, Brian Thompson. Now, he did his usual bootlicking because that's what he's paid to do. But he tried to make this a left versus right thing, and as you're going to see, his audience was not buying it. Now, before we talk about Ben Shapiro, I think it's important to note that we do have additional details about the assassin. And his politics were pretty ambiguous. So we know that his name was Luigi Mangione, and he followed liberals like AOC and Trevor Noah on Twitter. But he also followed conservatives like Joe Rogan and Patrick Bet-David. Now, he retweeted right-wing billionaires like Peter Thiel. But I mean, politics aside, he has a photo of an X-ray in his Twitter banner, and apparently had books about back pain in his Goodreads, and reportedly had a lot of medical issues in that regard. And in an Amazon review that he posted, he said that he thought violence was necessary to survive. So we've got no potions. His politics can't fit neatly in one package. Like most Americans, his politics are kind of all over the place. But presumably, he had a bad experience with the U.S. healthcare system after suffering a medical issue and was radicalized by it as a result. But obviously, he took things so much further than others have who have suffered the same fate. Now, Ben Shapiro, getting back to him, tried to partisanize this issue and make it seem like it was just the left that was celebrating the murder of this healthcare CEO, even though everyone had the same response everywhere. But to be fair, Ben Shapiro did not know these details about the shooter that I know now at the time that he posted these videos. But one thing that was crystal clear was the fact that everyone, everywhere, basically had the same response, regardless if they were on the left or the right, because healthcare is something that all Americans have to deal with. And we all know that these private insurance companies are trash. They kill people, they murder people, they rip us off. So nobody had sympathy for this healthcare CEO. Didn't matter if it was in right-wing or left-wing circles.
All of you.
But the problem is that didn't fit with Shapiro's narrative. So instead, he tried to turn this into an us versus them, left versus right thing. In both of the videos that he posted. One of them was titled "A Shocking Target Attack and the Left Celebrates." And the other was titled "The Evil Revolutionary Left Cheers Murder." Now, before I show you how his audience reacted to that obvious bullshit, I do want to point out the fact that Ben Shapiro is just not a good person. He wants you to think that he's morally superior to you because you maybe liked a meme or an edgy tweet about the slain CEO of a health insurance company. But let's look at some commentary from Ben Shapiro himself. So on October 24th, 2023, when Israel was indiscriminately massacring innocent civilians in Gaza, Ben Shapiro shared this video to Facebook titled, "Gazan civilians are not innocent." Yeah, that's something that he uploaded. In other words, it's okay to slaughter innocent people because they're all complicit with the crimes of Hamas. But I mean, that was more than a year ago, so maybe he's changed his views about murder and whether or not it's good after seeing the evil left cheer for the murder of this CEO. But he hasn't. Because after clutching his pearls over the reaction to that news story online, he then celebrated the acquittal of Daniel Penny, the murderer who choked Jordan Neely to death on a subway last year.
Daniel Penny verdict is in. He has been acquitted.
We're doing good this time. We're doing good.
Thank God. Probably shouldn't have said that. Did the right thing. I'll bring all the details in just 1 second. First, this is your reminder that DW Plus gift memberships are 40% off.
Unbelievable. And he was presumably so excited by this news that he just couldn't wait to get to the studio to talk about it. But of course, before he talks about that, this millionaire had to first ask his audience to give him more of their hard-earned money before telling them why murdering poor people is good, but murdering rich people is bad. And if you celebrate the murder of a rich CEO who's responsible for the deaths of thousands of innocent Americans,
we can do it.
You're evil, according to Ben Shapiro. But yet he's going to say that, yet celebrate and rationalize the murders of innocent civilians in Gaza or poor people in the United States. Yet he's perfectly moral and you're immoral. This man is fucking shameless. And to be clear, I'm not cherry-picking examples here. Ben Shapiro routinely celebrates the murder of innocent civilians. He gleefully tweeted about Trayvon Martin's death,
why does he have
who was
so many
murdered
abilities?
at 17, and joked about
Come on down
Israeli
here.
war crimes in
Come to the
Lebanon
Come
that
down
killed
where it's
innocent
clear,
people,
please.
including an 8-year-old little girl named Fatima Abdallah. And in case you're sensing a little bit of a pattern here, you're not alone, because he seems particularly excited about the murders of black and brown people. But if I point that out, I'm being woke and I'm playing identity politics, which is another thing that only the right can do. Now, I say that because Shapiro's associate, Matt Walsh, did just that. He tweeted the leftist outright praising the first-degree murder of a health insurance CEO because he's a white male. If he was a CEO of the same company but was a black woman, you would not be seeing any of the gloating and celebration. I hope everyone understands this basic point. Sure, man, it's not because that CEO is responsible for the deaths of countless Americans and they've dealt with his company themselves. It's because he was white. That's why they were celebrating.
Yeah.
Hey, just for kicks, I wonder if Matt Walsh
Ben
praised murder recently himself. Oh, would you look at that? He's retweeting End Wokeness, who's saying this acquittal marks the end of the BLM era, so pop that champagne. And I guess they just had to include an image of Jordan Neely dying just for good measure. Listen, I need you to understand that these people are morally superior to no one. And the reason why they're so offended by the response to the health insurance CEO's murder is because they don't view what he did as criminal. Because in their mind, poor people are just disposable. Their lives are meaningless.
Oh, no.
So if they're mad about a family member dying due to a claim denial, tough fucking luck. Should have stopped being poor, I guess, right? They genuinely believe that rich people are better than the rest of us.
No.
But here's the thing. Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, but we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro for purposes of this video, completely misread the room on this one, because even though he's never had to think about healthcare a day in his life since he's a multi-millionaire.
No!
The same can't be said for his audience.
Okay, we gotta run away.
Regardless of how conservative they are, because they're not as wealthy as he is. They understand how fucked up our healthcare system is. We've all dealt with the claim denial or unexpected medical bills.
Get away from me!
We know somebody who has. So it's one of the few subjects where propagandists like Ben Shapiro can't lie to their audience. But he tried to, and it did not go well. For example, on the first video that he posted where he hypocritically attacked the left, he got 4 times as many dislikes as he did likes. And on the second video that he uploaded, he got nearly 7 times as many dislikes as he did likes.
At least I completed
and in the comment section, you see Ben Shapiro's conservative audience wake up to the propagandistic role that he plays specifically in their exploitation and subjugation in real time. And it was really, really encouraging to see this. So here's some examples from both of those videos. They started a culture war, so we forget about the class war. Saw my lifelong hardworking father become bankrupt as a result of claims being denied after getting cancer.
Well, at least
you were out of touch, man. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but it's not just the left who is sick of this. This just in, man with a $50 million net worth completely misses the point and is out of touch with the frustration of regular Americans.
How do I drop
I'm not buying this left versus right shit anymore, Ben. I want healthcare for my family. Thank you, Ben, for showing us what a good dog you really are when it comes to defending your owners. Your rich privilege is showing, Ben. Not that good anymore at keeping the working class divided and angry at each other. Remember, guys, Ben has more in common with that CEO than he has with any of us. Quote, he had a wife and a family. Yeah, bro, so do the hundreds of thousands of people who are denied healthcare and die.
I'm not in a boss
Your business
fight.
model
The
requires
fight's over.
us
I
normal
won.
people to hate each other. Wow, maybe I've been wrong this entire time. Ben, I don't think you actually care about us. I think you just want our money. I think you want us to hate each other. Ben's net worth is around $50 million. He is a peer of Brian Thompson, not of us, the average American citizen. He makes money by generating hate and division.
Not me.
My brother-in-law died because they never approved the correct treatment for him. This is not a left versus right thing. I work in a factory in a deep red state. My coworkers all voted for Trump and wear his merch. They were laughing at the incident. It's not just the left. The perfect out-of-touch response from a rich kid who never struggled. And finally, starting to realize your entire career is built off getting ordinary working folks to hate each other. Wow.
Good job.
I could honestly read these comments all day.
Yeah, me too.
To see people wake up to the games that elites are playing is truly inspiring. I don't know how else to describe it. And if you're a conservative viewer of Ben Shapiro who happened to stumble upon this video, I know some of you have found my content because of my video that I posted about this. Allow me to fill in some more blanks for you and let you know the ways that Ben Shapiro is trying to obscure the harm that is being done to you at the behest of the billionaires who fund his channel. Propagandists like Ben Shapiro, they're funded by right-wing investors that benefit from his divisive politics, because if you're fighting us in a culture war, you're not going to be fighting the elite. You're going to be too distracted to fight them since you're fighting us. They want you to think that immigrants are the reason why you're not making more money at your job, so you don't notice that the CEO of your company, who just gave himself a raise, by the way, hasn't given you a raise in years, even though you're probably doing more work now than you were doing when you first started, since they laid off people and never replaced them because the company wanted to make a few more bucks. And it's only a matter of time before they replace you with a robot, not an immigrant. Don't be afraid of an immigrant taking your job in 2024
by the robot.
when they're creating the AI now to replace all of us. They want you to think that black and brown people and DEI have made you less safe when you fly in an airplane, so you don't realize that the safety issues stem from the CEOs of these companies like Boeing cutting corners to save a few bucks. A black pilot didn't make the doors of one of their planes blow off. A female train conductor didn't cause the train to derail in East Palestine.
That's Big Mike
Greedy
right there.
CEOs who bribe politicians to deregulate their companies are responsible for these things. They want you to think that climate change is a hoax and that the people who are concerned about it are alarmist communists that want you to live in hobbit homes and eat bugs or some shit. So that way, you know, you're mad at them for that, as opposed to the CEOs of fossil fuel companies who are destroying the only habitable planet that we all have. They want you to spot the woke mind virus everywhere you look, in video games and movies and TV shows, because if they're priming you to see LGBTQ plus people and people of color as the enemy, you're not going to realize that elites are your true enemy. They've brainwashed you into thinking that people who are different from you, they're the real threat. They're the real enemy. And they've bought off all of our politicians. They've rigged our entire system against us.
All of them.
And they're richer than ever, while Americans are poorer
Dude,
than
that's
ever.
amazing.
Most Americans can't afford a $500
Absolutely
emergency.
amazing.
Whereas multimillionaires and billionaires are buying their fourth mansion and second yacht. And they're sharing photos of these lavish lifestyles on Instagram while your grandmother struggles to pay her mortgage on Social Security. They have no fucking shame. They have it all and they want more. And it's a zero-sum game. You have to pay for these lifestyles. They're paying less taxes and you have to pay more because they have the power. So fuck you.
Yes.
They got theirs.
There
and they
you
want
go,
more.
bro.
They want you to have nothing, not even crumbs anymore. They used to
That's what I'm talking about, Mike.
They don't want you to have even that. And billionaires like Elon Musk, who bought himself a position in Trump's administration,
Fuck billionaires.
wants to take away your Social
Fuck
Security,
CEOs
even
of
though you paid
healthcare.
into that your entire life.
Fuck 'em.
That's the
That's what
immigrant
I'm
you
talking
should want to
about.
deport. Not some
Let's
innocent
go.
abuelita who came here looking for a better life for her family. Elites lie to you about Medicare for all because these health insurance companies profit off of your pain and suffering. They pay politicians to lie to you about a single-payer healthcare system, and they say, oh, that's socialism. You should be afraid of it because our current for-profit system has made them rich. So they want you to believe that something better that all the other countries have adopted is actually worse for you. And if we had healthcare that was free at the point of service, the gravy train would be over for these CEOs.
Right.
So politicians let us suffer and die so these companies can leech off of us some more. They're distracting you by pitting you against queer people and black and brown people, because if you're fighting them, you're going to be too busy to fight the people at the top who is actually fucking you over in a plethora of ways. And I am so glad that so many of you are finally waking up to this reality. But you have to understand that fellow working class people are not your enemies.
There we go. Okay.
Regardless if they're gay or trans, black or brown, Muslim or atheist or an immigrant, they are not your enemies. They are not responsible for your economic anxiety.
Exactly.
And even though you probably felt like the system was unfair, but you didn't know how to articulate how it was unfair, you probably noticed that the rich were doing pretty great. They were getting richer while you kept getting poor year after year after year.
How does this
and people
keep
like
going
Ben
outside the
Shapiro
window?
tricked you into thinking all of those problems stemmed from immigrants or trans
I'll
people.
try not
They
to,
tricked you into hating innocent
accidentally
people
push the
that
wrong
are
button
also
here.
getting fucked over by the same system that's fucking over you, right? CEOs are the ones that you should be hating. Billionaires,
this is
elites,
so much better.
oligarchs, they are the ones that are the cause of your pain and suffering. They are all of our common enemy. But people like Ben Shapiro turned us into each other's common enemy. He is paid to distract you while the rich robs you blind. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's called divide and conquer. And I am so glad that you are finally aware of it. And I would love nothing more than to stop fighting you in a culture war and instead join forces with you to fight in a class war. But here's the thing. That means the people that are going to fight alongside you have to be on equal footing. A trans woman would love nothing more than to fight a class war with you, but she can't do that if she also has to focus on her humanity when it's under attack, or if she fears for her life every time she leaves her home. An immigrant can't fight a class war with you if you continue to see them as the enemy and call for their deportation, and if they have to be worried about deportation or feel like they're not welcome in this movement.
Yeah,
a gay
imagine
man
all of us
can't
standing
just
together.
fight the culture war with you if he thinks that his marriage rights are under attack, because he's got to take time to protect those gains that he's made too. So if you're serious about fighting a class war, you have to stop fighting the culture war first. And you have to stop viewing other people as the enemy entirely. Period. Full stop. It's already hard enough to fight a class war when your boss has you working longer hours for lower wages and you're already tired when you come home and you feel like shit. But if you also have to fight for your basic civil rights too, it diverts attention away from the class struggle that we all desperately want to be able to fight with you. So if you're serious about changing this country for the better once and for all and taking back the wealth CEOs stole from us, that necessitates you seeing the humanity in people that Ben Shapiro and his ilk have demonized. It requires you to accept that you not only have to welcome trans people into your movement wholeheartedly, but you have to fight alongside them for their rights as well, for their emancipation as well, because they're not going to fight for you if you're not going to fight for them. You can't have true class solidarity if you think that the people who are fighting alongside you should have less rights than you. And you can't expect them to join you in a political movement unless you unequivocally repudiate the divisive politics that separated you both in the first place. That is the first step.
Dude,
and I hate the term culture war because it minimizes something that affects people's lives in a profound way. We're talking about civil rights and basic human dignity. And you have to internalize the fact that none of us are free until all of us are free.
Exactly.
Race, sex, class, it is all intertwined, and you have to see that. You can't expect marginalized people to postpone their own liberation and emancipation or put aside the fight for now, you know, for civil rights in order to fight this class war with you, because we have to do both things simultaneously. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, right? So if you're serious about changing this country for the better, and you should be, and you really want to take on the rich bastards that are keeping you down and making you poor and keeping you that way, you have to stop fighting marginalized people
Americans
and start fighting
helping
for
Americans
marginalized people.
Fighting
and
back
then they
against
will
a
fight
bunch of
alongside
bullshit
you. That is how
oligarchy,
you cultivate class solidarity.
oligarchs
It is going to take a lot of
like
time
Elon
for you
Musk
to
and the rest
deprogram
of these
yourself, because
assholes.
trying to resist years of right-wing
Imagine.
brainwashing will force you to reckon with a lot of beliefs that are going to make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to experience cognitive dissonance and even anxiety. But that internal struggle is so worthwhile, because it is the true path to liberation for us all. So start by making yourself familiar with the arguments of trans people on YouTube. Listen to marginalized content creators about their experience. Have an open mind. And I promise you, if you extend sympathy to them, they'll extend it back to you.
Exactly.
They're not evil like Ben Shapiro told you they were. They're just like you,
Ben Shapiro's
trying to
an
live
asshole.
their lives. And they want better lives for themselves and you too. And if you actually see your fellow Americans as equals, and you truly become class conscious, imagine how fucking terrified these elites will be if they know that politicians can't just win elections on divisive wedge issues anymore. Imagine how wonderful it would be if politicians in both parties knew that they couldn't win elections unless they promised material goods to the voting population, like guaranteed healthcare, housing, and not just the living wage, but a comfortable life that our grandparents had. All working people would be unstoppable for the first time ever in this country if this were to happen. So challenge yourself if you came from Ben Shapiro's audience, and understand that if you take the bait when Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh dangles woke hysteria or LGBT groomers or DEI in front of you, you're playing into the hand of elites.
Fucking got baited.
And you're fighting minorities instead of the rich people. Resist the brainwashing and fight back, and that's how we all win.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games.
All right.
Play stupid games.
F around and find out.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Play stupid games.
Dude, that is dope.
Play stupid games.
Fucking A, Mike. Dude. Fucking preach, dude. Holy shit, that was good. All right. Well, it was fun. I will try and jump on here more often and do some like gaming at night. If I wasn't so old, I'd stay up later. But like, I have to work tomorrow. I have to work every day. I work every day of my life. But I'm super thankful for you guys that showed up and chatted with me and kept me on here doing these things. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. We got a politics stream on Wednesday. We'll watch the news. We'll talk about goings on in the world. We'll talk about CEOs and whether or not certain people got caught and whether or not people that work at McDonald's are assholes. We'll talk about all those things. But also, like, let's see. So pretty much Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. I'm supposed to be making videos nowadays, but I haven't really, like I said, the videos I want to make are videos about things that like matter, and those videos don't get views. And those videos, I spend a lot of time making them and, researching stuff and talking about stuff, and then people just really want to see me make fun of people. So that's understandable. I understand that. But that's the videos I want to make, and I haven't found myself really motivated to just make shit talking videos nowadays. And it just like, I haven't felt like doing it. So, instead, maybe we'll do some more of these like gaming streams, because I can talk shit while I play video games. That's fun. And I can make fun of myself for all the bad fucking game playing I do as well. So if you guys enjoy these, I appreciate you guys being here. And if you want to see more of them, for sure, like it, hit the comment. If you guys want me to play certain games, I don't mind even buying a couple games. Like, I'm not going to, spend all of my hard-earned dollars on video games. I would never do a such thing as that. But if you guys got a game you want to see me play while we watch some stuff, leave it in the comments. And maybe we'll look at trying some other games out too. So we'll try some games. We'll watch the videos. We'll break it up a little bit and just change the atmosphere. I like talking about stuff. I like ranting about stuff. I like making fun of stuff. But I also want to break it up a little bit. And, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I want you guys to have fun while you're on my channel as well. I don't want you just here listening to me rant about how fucking billionaire oligarchs are assholes. So anyways, what about discussing other stuff? Yeah. So one of the things I was going to do, and I actually started this, this stream with it, was I do like to watch like history stuff. I like to watch cult stuff. I like to watch Terrence McKenna. After school, sometimes I don't like some of the stuff after school does, but their Terrence McKenna videos are really good. I like listening to speakers. I like listening to like neuroscientists talk about neuroscience. I love listening to neuroscience. So yeah, same thing. If you want me to discuss other stuff, for sure, drop it in the comments. And I mean the actual comments of the video, not in the chat. So that way it's there for me to see. So anybody, video games, books, science, whatever you want. I can talk about anything. My wife can tell you. I can talk about anything. I seriously never shut the fuck up. So if you guys want to talk about anything else, I'm down with that. I'm currently reading Brandon Sanderson's new book. For those of you that were talking about fantasy books earlier with me, Brandon Sanderson's new book, The Wind and the Truth, just came out. His 5th book in the Stormlight Archives. 1,400 pages, so I'm going to be reading that for like 8 years of my life. But I'm happy to talk about books and stuff too. Billy Carson, yeah. Aliens, yeah. Okay, we can do it. So just drop it in the comments, so that way I remember it. And yeah. All right, guys. I can't say when I'm going to pop on for gaming streams, because it's really up to once I'm home from work. I've done stuff with the family. I've cooked, and generally after that, if I'm not doing anything that night, then I'll hop on and we'll stream. So, and the more you guys show up and the more you guys interact, the more I'll do it. So thanks, guys. Love you guys.